Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 75th. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 75th running of the SC2 Peoria TT, and that is sponsored by the Country Saloon. I'm Scotty Dubler. Welcome to Thunder Valley. Practice just about ready to get underway. We will run a few extra practices today. They made some changes to the racetrack. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Also later on, we'll introduce you to Ralph Shaheen and Kristen Beat. They'll be along shortly. The bikes are staged up, and there is last year's winner getting set to roll out, the 95 JD Beach. Right beside him is the 32 of Dallas Daniels. That's the Estenson Yamaha team. There's a look at the landing of the jump, going off into what would normally be your flat track turn number 3, the tight left-hander at the far end of the racetrack, and then the super long front straightaway as bikes are rolling onto the track. It is your Mission Super Twins, sponsored by S&S Cycles. First round of practice. They will get 2 rounds of practice today in the Super Twins class. There's a look at the leader of the FBI, the Fast Boys from Illinois, the 27 Bucks Pearson, just rolled onto the racetrack. And making his return to American Flat Track, the 17. It's the 14-time winner of the Peoria TT, the Hammer, Henry Wiles, just rolls onto the racetrack on his Kawasaki. Also out there is the 1 of Jared Meese, the 3 Briar Bauman, 32 Dallas Daniels, 95 JD Beach, 44 is Brandon Robinson, 20 is Jared Vandekoy, 37 Bronson Bauman on the Harley-Davidson, 67 Davis Fisher, 27 Robbie Pearson on the Indian, 25 is Ben Lau, who's riding in the Premier class today on an Indian, and the 17 of Henry Wiles. This is the first lap of the day. Taking a little march through 1 and 2 right there. They make the hard left-hander. It's a lot wider coming up in turn number 2, up to the jump. They land on the jump, the right-hander. This is the first time of the season the riders will get to use a front brake, only used on the TT courses. There's the 27. Go back up towards the middle of the pack. The 67, Davis Fisher. Right behind him is Ben Lau, the Holly Hot Rod from Holly, Michigan. Again, that super long front straightaway. It's longer than a half-mile racetrack's front straightaway. Vandekoy has the fastest lap so far, the number 20 bike, 2:27.205, and now here comes JD Beach to the top spot, 2:6.789. It will take a few laps to get the lines developed onto the racetrack. There's a look at the 3, that is Briar Bauman. He won here back in 2019, and behind him is the man that has never won the Peoria TT as Briar goes out of the way, goes up to the air fence, just hits the air fence. He's looking down at the motorcycle, now grabbing the front brake, just making a few adjustments to that motorcycle, just checking out that front brake as Meese goes to the top spot with a 2:6.493. Jared Meese has the fastest lap so far. That is the number 1 motorcycle defending Grand National champion ever Peoria TT victory. Briar's letting everybody go on by. Good news for Briar is there's 2 rounds of practice today. Now he's ducking to the inside again, still checking that front brake a little bit, maybe locking up on him. Now he starts picking up pace. Look over his shoulder and he'll get up to speed now. So Briar hasn't had a fast lap into the books yet. He's way back there in the 7th spot. White flag is out. Group number 1 of our Mission Super Twins, sponsored by S&S Cycles. There's a look at Briar going over the jump. Kind of landed hard on that front wheel right there. They don't typically do that. Jesse Janish does like doing that, however. There's the 1 of the Jammer, Jared Meese. Back to the pack, 32.67 in the 32 of Dallas Daniels. Super wide, turns 1 and 2, about 70 feet wide now. There's Briar up and over the jump. Make the right-hand turn. He keeps looking down the motorcycle. He is not comfortable right now, so Briar, the 2-time champ, still just taking a look around on this motorcycle. He's not quite comfortable yet. That's all right. We'll take it back to the pit area. His crew will go to work on that one. Dave Zanotti, Michelle DeSalvo, take a look at it. So right now, it is the 1 of Jared Meese with a 2:6.230. 2:6.230 for Jared Meese on the 1 bike. Again, still hasn't won here at Peoria, one of the tracks he wants to knock off that list of wins at. The 95 JD Beach, last year's winner, 2nd. Brandon Robinson up there 3rd, and he's not usually a TT rider, but he's looking pretty strong today with a 2:6.432, just 0.2 of a second off of Jared Meese. Vandekoy 4th, Henry Wiles 5th on his Kawasaki. Bikes are rolling out onto the racetrack now. We switch gears to the Production Twins class. 33 is our points leader, Jesse Janish, up and over on that XG Harley-Davidson. That's the Vance & Hines Harley. Right behind him is the 1 of Corey Texter. 60 is Nick Armstrong. 109 is Billy the Kid. That's Billy Ross. He could be a factor today. 51, Cole Zabala. The 10 is Johnny Lewis on the Royal Enfield back with us. 62 is Dan Bromley, last year's winner. 61 is Casey Cisco. 45, Shelby Miller on a borrowed motorcycle. And the 30, Rock Schwarzenbacher from Wisconsin. Again, an extra round of practice for all of the competitors today. Look at that. Oh, that looked like a gopher cam right there at the landing of the jump. That's a good shot. We'll see if we can check that out again here in a little bit. There goes Janish on the 33. Finished third here last year. This is where he got the nod to ride this bike the rest of the year, and which helped secure that ride for this season. Harley-Davidson team. Looking pretty smooth. He has won here 3 times on a single, has not won here on a twin yet. Today could be his first. He is the fastest so far, the 2:7.269. Johnny Lewis on that Royal Enfield's up to second. Texter is third. Yamaha's third, fourth, and fifth at the moment. We started about 10 minutes late. There was a few wet spots. Now it looks like there's already a few dry spots over here in turns 1 and 2. Again, they've configured that turn a little bit, made it a little bit wider, especially thanks to the folks at Caterpillar. Corey Texter, the 2-time champ. His final season, so this will be his final race at the Peoria TT. Downshifts going into turn number 1. He's trying the very low line right here in 1 and 2. Gets a little bit sideways on that G&G Racing Yamaha. Keeping it pretty low on that jump. And just got a report from the pit area that the 33 bike, Jesse Janish, has lost the chain on the motorcycle. The chain has come off of the 33 bike. So it's best to do that right now in practice. Get that out, get that over with. White flag is out. Let's look at the 10 of Johnny Lewis, the 51 of Zabala. 109, Billy Ross. Up to 6th right now on his Harley-Davidson. Schwarzenbacher. Cisco, Bromley. Bromley up to second, a little bit faster lap right there. 7.446. Far the fastest lap, a 2:6.669. If you want to look at the comparison between Super Twins and Production Twins right now, it's about 0.4 of a second difference between the 1 of Meese and the 33 of Jesse Janish, which could be a factor later on today if the top 4 riders finish in Production Twins have the option to move up into the Premier class, the Super Twins class, to race in that main event if they choose to. Again, just getting the line set out here, our first round of practice. There'll be 2 rounds of practice for the Production Twins and singles, and there will be 3 rounds of practice for your Super Twins. Raymond Rizzo pulls out that yellow flag. Up next will be your singles riders. There's a look at our first round of practice for your Production Twins. Jesse Janish at the 6.669. Only the 62 bike is second, 2:7.446. Johnny Lewis on that Royal Enfield, his first race back after sitting out 2 rounds. On the 10 bike is a 2:7.734. Zabala and Corey Texter round out your top 5. AFT Singles are up next. Biggest class of the afternoon. They split them up into 3 different groups to make sure everybody has plenty of room on the racetrack. The 12 bike, Cody Kopp, our current points leader, the hottest rider in American flat track, should lead him out on the 12. 13, Morgan Mishler. 79 is Dalton Gauthier. 48 is Trent Lowe. 18, Maxwell is last year's winner. 21, Trevor Bruner. 106, Chase Sadoff is our Mobile View Rookie of the Year leader. And the 19 of James Ott from Simi Valley, California on the KTM. Kopp already landed on the front wheel. Looks like he's already having fun on this very first lap out here. His dad won here, Smoking Joe Kopp. He also went through the creek bed one time, so gotta enjoy every bit of the racetrack, I guess. Kopp on the factory Red Bull KTM entry. Up the jump. Into the right-hander, the 12 by Cody Kopp. Nickname is Hot Rod. He's got a little bit of a hand guard right there on that right side. These guys reach speeds up to about 100 miles per hour on that front straightaway. We had a rider down in what they're calling turn 4. Hands are out, so there's a The wheel and lights are on. The red light is out. The rider down is Trent Lowe. Looks like the back wheel is locked up on that 48. Looks like the pipe's kind of bent up a little bit, but the rear end is definitely locked up on that 48 bike. Did not see that wreck, but they're sending the crew down there to help him out. That is Trent Lowe, currently 4th in the point standings here in our Parts Unlimited AFT Singles sponsored by Kicker class. I'll bring everybody else up here to the hot and the cold box. I have to pick the back end of that motorcycle up for the 48 bike, Trent Lowe. It's from Guilford, Indiana. All right, we'll take a look at the replay. Watch the very top of the screen. Right now, as the back end's kind of stepping out, coming around, and he just kind of low sides, but he was right there in the racing line, so not sure exactly what happened, but that rear end definitely looked like it was locked up. And Trent's running down the racetrack right now, looking for his backup motorcycle. He's going to duck into the pits. I saw him running. Now looks at this. Max Whale jumps on the rear tire of Cody Cobb, the 2 teammates out there. Remember, Max missed a couple of rounds earlier this year with a left leg injury. And he won here last year, so this could be a setup of what we'll see later on in this main event in this class. Kopp is on the 12, Max Whale on the 18. The 2 factory Red Bull KTM riders. Turn of Honda riders are right behind them. Third rider on the racetrack got really sideways right there. Looks like Kopp is airing it out a little bit further than Max Whale, but Max is getting his wheels down on the ground and getting on the gas a little bit. The 48 bike is back on the racetrack on his backup motorcycle. And if you haven't yet seen the Peoria TT shirt, better check it out. It's got JD Beach on there. That is a pretty cool shirt. You might want to get them fast. They are going fast, the Peoria TT shirts. If you're here, stop by, check them out. You probably check them out on AmericanFlatTrack.com. Go to the store, marketplace. You got to take some home to the kids. Kopp out in front. He's also the fastest bike on the track at 2:06.732 for the number 12. Now it's the 18 goes to top spot. Cody Kopp goes to second. Max Whale on the 18. Now in the top spot at 2:06.732. The good thing right now for Max is he has somebody to go after. As he goes up the inside, makes the pass. Is the 2 teammates right here. Down this long front straightaway. Whale and Kopp, 1 and 2 on the racetrack. Mishler, 3rd quickest so far. Now, yeah, Mishler still in the 3rd spot, 2:06.814. That was a good last lap for Max Whale at 2:06.395. Brunner also out there on that Yamaha, currently 5th. Chase Sadoff is 6th, and James Ott 7th. Out of the bikes there on the racetrack. 43 doesn't have a transponder on his backup bike, so he's just getting some laps in right now, which is good. You gotta get some practice in. Again, 2 rounds of practice for these singles riders. Down here in Thunder Valley. Up and over the jump. Looks like Kopp got a little bit through the back end, out a little bit sideways, maybe doing that on purpose, like Jake Johnson used. Here goes Maxwell off the final corner down the long front straightaway. Checkered flag is out, so Max looks like he's going to be the fastest in practice. Times disappear here in front of us, but Maxwell quickest in this first round of practice. Take a look back at the replay of the pass for the top spot. Your leader is going at it. Kopp goes a little bit wide, gets a little bit sideways, grabs a handful, and that opens up the door for his tall Australian teammate Maxwell. That's how he made the pass into the top spot. Reaches up, grabs the tear off, shifts gears down that long front straightaway. So Maxwell, fastest so far here in this first round of practice, a 2:06.395. 2:06.395, just off of Mises' time, a 2:06.230 in that Super Twins class. So that's a pretty quick lap for Maxwell on that 450. Kopp is second, 2:06.544. Mishler third, Dalton Gauthier fourth, and Trevor Brunner rounding out your top 5. Up next will be group number 2. There are 3 groups of singles riders. Group number 2, the 26 is Aiden Rusev, it's 24 Hunter Bauer, 99 Kevin Stallings, 80 is Brandon Kitchen, who went through for a ride through the creek last year. 55 Tyler Raggio, 63 is Jared Lowe, 377 the Spanish flat track champ Ferran Cardus, and the 49 the California kid Chad Coase. Bikes are back onto the racetrack. This is group number 2 of your AFT Singles class. Folks just tuning in, this is our first round of practice. There will be an extra round of practice for everybody today. There's Kitchen on the 80. There's Ferran, Spanish flat track, American flat track circuit. Still looking for his first American flat track win. Bruce Evans from O'Fallon, Illinois, sponsored by the Southern Illinois Motorcycle Shop down there. And there is the 377 Vanilla Cycles Brad Baker Bullet Strong Honda. Right behind him is the First Impressions Race Team 49 Chad Coase, the California kid. He's a former supermoto racer, usually goes very well on TTs. We're on up the jump. Pretty smooth on the 377. He's up to 8th right now on the speed charts. Kitchen on the 80 bike is up to 7th. 49 Chad Coase currently 10th. Where they let off and go into turn number 1 and 2. So over 70 feet wide down here in the first and second corner. They took out the infield curbing in turns 1 and 2. Give these riders a little bit more room to race. Battle for the front position on the racetrack. Here comes the 80 of Kitchen. That's the Vance & Hines Husqvarna going in pretty deep. Gets right on the back tire of the leader, and he's bringing with him the 377 of Ferran Cardus. Kitchen makes the pass on Bruce Evans, and here comes Ferran right behind him as they land off the jump. Bruce Evans, Ferran Cardus, and Chad Coase. Coase up to 8th right now. Ferran is up to 7th on the 377. Ferran is the fastest bike on the racetrack. Kitchen is in 9th as the white flag comes out. Up and over the jump they go. There is Bruce Evans, the 26 bike. Ferran trying to make the pass. Not able to make it right there in that really tight right-hander. There's Kitchen on the 80 bike, the Vance & Hines Husqvarna. Taking a look back, there's Stallings on the 99. It looks like Kevin Stallings currently 15th, 29.040. A little bit off the pace, doesn't like the TTs normally. A good final corner right there, and there's the 377 of Ferran Cardus. Checkered flag is out. There is the 80 bike right there, Brandon Kitchen, the Vance & Hines Husqvarna. I talked about the trip through the creek last year. See if we can take a look at the replay. This is last year, hanging on to it up and over the bike. A nasty ride up and over the air fence and into the creek right there. But little head shake. Watch this head shake. The front end, he's just along for the ride up and over. He was cart. Want to do that again this year. So that was Brandon Kitchen last year. Not looking to do that again. That was last year before he had a 2-digit number. This year he's now running the number 80 bike. He is currently 8th. So still Maxwell fastest in the first round. Top, Mishler, Gauthier, Bruner, Sadoff, Ferran Cardus up to 7th. Kitchen was out there on 8th. Chad Coase and Bruce Evans up to 10th. Third and final group of your Parts Limited AFT Singles, sponsored by Kicker. First round of practice, 94 is Ryan Wells, 119 the kid, Logan McGray, 91 Justin Jones, 56 Jordan Jean. 132, I've got Pierce here. I don't know that number. Actually, it's a new number. That's what Dallas Daniels' first number was. Pierce on the 132. 14, Jacob Lehman. And the 53 of Blake Steinwagner, Illinois riders. We're taking a look at the 94 of Ryan Wells on that First Impressions race team. Going back in the pack just a little bit. There's the 119. There's the new rider with us, the 132 of Pierce. Jacob Lehman, he won here. Joining me in the booth, he's already made his way to the concession stand, had a PMC burger. Now he's been to the Rookies of 79, got a t-shirt from the marketplace, and got a book. Ralph Shaheen, welcome to Peoria.
Well, I mean, there's things you got to do, Scotty, when you go to some of these venues, right? You got to check them off the list, and get my event shirt.
Yeah.
That was one of them for sure.
And you got a book from the rookie class 79.
Yeah, Angela Savage is here. Her dad was the late, great Swede Savage, who was obviously well known for his IndyCar racing, but was also a very well-known motorcycle racer prior to making it into Indy cars. So Angela is here. She wrote a great book about her dad and his career called Savage Angel. And I was lucky enough to get a signed copy from her and wanting to get it. It's a nice big coffee table book. Been wanting to get a copy of it. And Angela's a cool friend and psyched to get the book finally.
That is awesome. Got a t-shirt. How many
event shirt.
How many PMC burgers have you had already?
None.
What?
But it's early.
Okay, I've already had two.
You have?
Yeah.
You had two. So here's the question, Scotty Dubler. Did you buy two thinking, I'm going to get my buddy Ralph a PMC burger? So you bought two, started walking towards where I was, and couldn't bring it to me. You had to cobble it down.
Well, you weren't here, so I had to take care of it. I didn't want it to get cold.
Yeah,
I
okay.
I did not want to get cold, so.
No burger left behind.
Not yet. Maybe later. So there's the 94. Ryan Wells up the jump here. This is the final group of our first round of practice for your Parts Unlimited AFT Singles class. They downshift actually right there is before they go to that final corner. They'll upshift on this super long front straightaway route.
It is unbelievably long. You wouldn't expect it, thinking of the fact that this is a TT course and where we are and all that. But when you get down there and you look at it and you start talking to mechanics, you better have brought not only your courage to the races this weekend, but you better have brought some grunt too.
Yeah, you got to have some horsepower. That is a very, very long front straightaway. They've widened it out. They've widened out the going up to the approach of the jump. They've also widened out the landing of the jump, so hopefully we won't see anybody going through the creek bed again.
Video.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I did do too while I was here, Scotty, well, I went down and talked to a bunch of the riders, walked through the pit area, which was great, seeing everybody getting ready. A lot of interesting thoughts about who's ready to go, how they're going to approach the day, so forth and so on. There's also a manufacturer's midway right behind where the pits are, and there's some really neat things to see here today on display. A lot of local vendors, of course. Our friends at CAT have a lot of stuff for you to check out. But one of the neat displays is for Dick Bugsy Mann.
Yep. We're going to do a little tribute to him during opening ceremonies a little bit later on, but Dick Mann was a two-time champion. He won his first ever Grand National right here at Thunder Valley.
Yep, and they got a really cool display. Did you ever get a chance to meet him?
I did not.
I did.
Yeah?
Yeah, really cool, really cool. And then, by the way, Brad Jones says yes. Brad got to meet him as well, our producer. So really neat man, really fortunate and very thankful that I had the opportunity to get a chance to meet him and spend a little time with him.
Water truck pulls out onto the racetrack. It's getting a little bit dusty. Of course, we never know what's going to be going on the racetrack, so they got to stay prepared, and the water truck will pull out there. Again, they've widened up this first turn 1 and 2 very, you know, it's at least 70 feet wide. There was a curb on the inside of turns 1 and 2. A lot of people didn't even know it was there.
Curb.
Yeah, but it was kind of covered up with some of the dirt after some of the, you know, Mother Nature moves dirt around a little bit, and so they've widened it up quite a bit, but they're putting a little bit more water on the racetrack. Again, an extra round of practice for all of our riders. That means 3 rounds of practice for the Super Twins, 2 rounds of practice for your Production Twins and your AFT Singles. We're here at the 75th running of the SC2 Peoria TT, sponsored by the Country Saloon. I'm Sky Dubler. Up here in the booth is Ralph Shaheen. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back to Peoria in just a few moments. Stay tuned.
Multiple lines, draft passing, should be really exciting, so here we go. Oh, this is spectacular. Here in front of a huge crowd in a key race.
An epic battle awaits at Black Hills Speedway in Rapid City, South Dakota for the Black Hills Half Mile on Saturday, August 6th. Get your tickets now at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
Let your queries be known.
Yeah, hi. Instead of letting passengers wrap their arms around us, can we put little handles on our jackets?
Deny.
Can you imagine?
I want a new nickname. Can you guys start calling me Snake?
No, Brian.
Denied.
How about we all get quotes to see if we can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer?
Approved.
Cool. Hey, if Brian's not going to be Snake, can I be Snake?
No.
Al Lamb's Dallas Honda is proud to sponsor the Al Lamb's Dallas Honda Singles Challenge. It's a winner-take-all, $2,500 dash for cash. Enjoy the fastest and richest 4 laps in AFT Singles racing. Al Lamb's Dallas Honda, dallashonda.com.
The 2022 season will see new challenges for Royal Enfield. More racing, more racers, and more energy than ever before. For the first time ever, the Moto Anatomy powered by Royal Enfield team will participate in the full calendar, including the miles and build train race grid expanding to 15 riders and 7 races. More action than ever before. SENA is proud to be the official motorcycle communication system of Progressive American Flat Track. Ride connected with industry-leading mesh and Bluetooth communication systems, plus sound by Harman Kardon speakers and microphone. Head over to the marketplace to demo one of SENA's premium motorcycle communication systems today.
Tom Duma Fine Jewelers is proud to be the official jeweler for our 8th year to Progressive American Flat Track, providing championship rings for each class in 2021. TDFJ wants to be your jeweler. Check us out online for all your jewelry needs, from engagement rings to fashion jewelry to watches, in all price points to fit everyone's budget. Shop like a pro. Shop TDFJ.com.
Klotz Synthetic Lubricants is proud to be the official lubricant of American Flat Track. Family owned and made in America since 1959. Klotz has built its reputation by answering the call of racers and performance enthusiasts who won't settle for anything less than superior synthetic lubricants. Racers and performance buffs around the world rely on Klotz to get them to the checkered flag. Order today at KlotzLube.com.
Mobile View has been providing state-of-the-art LED video screens to sporting and special events throughout the U.S. and Canada since 1999. We use our vast experience of thousands of events to help guide the process of finding the right size screen to help make your event a memorable experience for your fans and sponsors. With over 300 World Championship titles, for 44 years, Öhlins advanced suspension technology has been providing the pinnacle of suspension for all areas of motorsports. For road or track, dirt or asphalt, when you choose Öhlins products to elevate your performance, you get Öhlins USA support and service to keep fueling your passion for excellence.
Memphis Shades brings you a whole new level of style when it comes to motorcycle windshields and fairings. The quality, style, and selection set these products apart from the pack. Memphis Shades designs and builds all windshields, fairings, and hardware in-house. Raw materials in, finished goods out. Made in Memphis. Style that works.
Dunlop is proud to be the official tire of Progressive American Flat Track. What we learn from racing is rolled into our production tires, such as the Dunlop K180, a street-legal version of the aggressive DT3 flat track tire. With the K180, street riders can now have the authentic flat track tire experience. No other tire company has won more American motorcycle championships than Dunlop. Race fans, VP Racing Fuels offers a full line of power sports fuels, lubricants, coolants, and appearance products for track and street. From pro racers to weekend warriors, we help riders make more power. Ask your local power sports dealer.
Multiple lines, draft passing, should be really exciting. So here we go. Oh, this is spectacular. Here in front of a huge crowd in a key race.
Hey, Washington State race fans. Progressive American Flat Track is back in the state at Castle Rock Race Park on Saturday, August 13th for the Castle Rock TT. Get your tickets now at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
And welcome back out here to the 75th running of the SC2 Peoria TT, sponsored by the Country Saloon. Scotty Dubler up here. Joining me in the booth is Ralph Shane. That was a look back at some of the great racing action here at Thunder Valley, Ralph.
Wild year here last year, huh?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Should be another great one today, and fantastic weather here today. Nice blue skies and a little warm. Temperatures a little warm, but the fans nicely tucked up in all those trees up under the shade. Should be a great day.
It's so cool rolling down that hill. There's no grandstands at all. It's a natural setting. You can sit wherever you want, see the whole track. The riders pit right there in the infield. They don't have their haulers. They got to work out of their tents, their toolboxes, kind of like their war wagons.
Absolutely, and it's one of the most unique settings in motorsports in this country. I've been to a lot of cool venues, whether they're paved or dirt, drag strips, road courses, and ovals. And I got to tell you, this place here in Peoria, the home of the TT, is one of the most unique you'll find anywhere in the country, maybe in the world.
Also the home of Caterpillar. We went by the factory on the way here to the track.
Yep, and big cats are everywhere around Peoria. They are hard to miss and cool to see. And we couldn't go racing here without them.
Absolutely. Last year we had a lot of rain. Actually, the last couple of years we had a lot of rain, and without Caterpillar being here, this is actually last year, without them being right here in town and having that great equipment, they came out here and saved the day for all the race fans and our riders, and gave us a racetrack so we can come out here and race, and they're right here in town, and we're glad to have them on board as a sponsor of American Flat Track and a sponsor of the Peoria TT.
It'd be fun to go for a ride in some of those.
Yeah, I thought I saw you out there looking at one of those, trying to figure out how to get in.
Oh, yeah, one of those.
They give you the keys?
No, nobody's going to give me the keys. Do not let him operate heavy equipment, it says right at the back of the shirt. But I'd love just to go for a ride with some of this stuff. It'd be cool to see how it all works.
Pretty fun. We'd have to set up a camera in there with you, a little Insta 360, and watch your reaction to what's going on.
I'd be grinning, I can tell you that. I'd be grinning.
Have you made a lap around this racetrack before?
You know, I have not. I've walked all around it, but I have not ridden around it, either on a motorcycle or in a car. I'd love to. I'd love to get out there and check it out.
It's pretty cool.
I'm
there's
sure.
no place like it. And they're really fun in rental cars,
Oh,
Ralph.
I bet.
I mean, I'm not going to tell you who I rent my car from, but...
Yeah. I bet.
I'm just kidding. Getting set to go. Pretty soon, guys. Still a little track prep going on. We get back to it. Your Mission Super Twins second round of practice up next. Stop by, see what's going on. All kinds of vendors. Dick Mann has a booth set up down there. We're out here at Thunder Valley. We'll take a commercial break, and we'll be back for more practice right here in Peoria.
Speed Sport has been America's motorsports authority since 1934. Get news, results, and commentary from the most connected experts in the business, covering all forms of motorsports from flat track to NASCAR and everything in between. Bookmark speedsport.com on your mobile device now, or follow Speed Sport on social, and be sure to subscribe to the Speed Sport Daily. Speed Sport is your one-stop shop for all things racing on two wheels and four.
Falken Tires is proud to be the official light truck tire of Progressive American Flat Track. Choosing the right tire for your truck or SUV is critical. And Falken has you covered, offering highway terrains to all-terrains through torture-tested mud terrains. For more information on Falken's full line of Wild Peak products, please visit us at www.falkentire.com. Kicker Performance Audio is the official sound system of American Flat Track. Kicker's fully stocked line of products includes speakers, amplifiers, and subwoofers for your car and truck stereo systems, as well as those for your boat, side-by-side, and touring motorcycle. Kicker also makes Bluetooth outdoor speakers, over-ear headphones, and earbuds to pair with your favorite mobile device. To learn more or find a dealer, visit kicker.com.
Rev up those taste buds. Proud sponsor of AFT Super Twins Racing. Mission Foods has you covered with race day recipes that are too fast, too tasty. So grab your favorite Mission products, sit back, and enjoy America's original extreme sport.
Klotz Synthetic Lubricants is proud to be the official lubricant of American Flat Track. Family owned and made in America since 1959. Klotz has built its reputation by answering the call of racers and performance enthusiasts who won't settle for anything less than superior synthetic lubricants. Racers and performance buffs around the world rely on Klotz to get them to the checkered flag. Order today at klotzlube.com. Every year, it's time to buy the world's best lithium battery, the Pulse IPT. With up to 1,200 cranking amps and unmatched reliability, there's no better battery for your bike. Or in the paddock today, or on Instagram, Facebook, and the web. Start something. Power everything.
SolarFit, America's solar team, is a proud sponsor of American Flat Track Racing. Get your complimentary solar analysis today at AmericanFlatTrack.com/SolarFit and let the sun power your home or business for free.
KTM, ready to race.
Al Lamb's Dallas Honda is proud to sponsor the Al Lamb's Dallas Honda Singles Challenge. It's a winner-take-all $2,500 dash for cash. Enjoy the fastest and richest 4 laps in AFT Singles Racing. Al Lamb's Dallas Honda, DallasHonda.com.
The track. Fuel up for race day with Mission Foods. Rev those taste buds with fast and easy to create recipes that are Winner's Circle delicious. Try some of our mouth-watering tacos to piled high nachos, fresh chips with guac, and more. Start those engines because Mission has you covered from the green flag to the checkered flag. Now that's too fast, too tasty.
Between multiple lines, draft passing should be really exciting. So here we go. Oh, this is spectacular. Here in front of a huge crowd in a key race.
Hey, Washington State race fans. Progressive American Flat Track is back in the state at Castle Rock Race Park on Saturday, August 13th for the Castle Rock TT. Get your tickets now at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
And welcome back to the 75th running of sponsored by the Country Saloon. If you lost a brown wallet or if you found a brown wallet, please turn it into the main announcer's tower. I'm Scott Dubler. Up here in the booth with me is Ralph Shaheen. Ralph, we just talked to a very special guy to this place, but also to Springfield, Illinois.
Our buddy Leroy.
Leroy's here. He hangs the banners. He's been doing it for his here to the Peoria TT from 1956
Rode here
until
first time 17 years old on a Harley suicide shifter.
Awesome. That's so cool. Leroy, thanks for stopping by. He hangs out banners. He's retiring, though, but he's going to be a race fan at the Springfield Mile in just a couple
look for
of
him.
weeks.
He'll be in the grandstands hanging out.
He's going to be hanging out with Graham.
Probably have some banners around him.
Probably so. Getting set to go with our second round of practice for the Mission Super Twin, sponsored by S&S Cycles. They're making a few changes down here to the racetrack in turns 1 and 2. They have winded out a little bit, so obviously there has not been any bikes on that particular part of the racetrack, so it got drier a little bit quicker than they'd planned.
You know, we've been talking a lot. Obviously, this is the 75th running of this spectacular event, and all the names that have been here, all the names that have won here, all the cool people like our buddy Leroy who've all a part of what makes this place so special, right? Scotty, I was thinking about it. If you had to go back in time, if you could go back in time, who would you have wanted to see ride here?
Man, probably Joe Leonard.
I mean, that is a spectacular call.
Gary Nixon.
You know what? Man, I can't go wrong with either. I was going to say Dick Mann.
Right.
But boy, you couldn't go wrong with any one of those names, could you?
And you know, the trucks like Gary Nixon, but you know, speaking of Dick Mann, there's a lot of his motorcycles in the infield. If you go through the tunnel right now and walk
well
in
worth
there
the
by
walk
the
just
pit,
to see that.
a lot of his bikes are on display. We're going to pay a little honor to him a little bit later on during the opening ceremonies. He won his first national here back in 1959 and his last one in 1972. So it's pretty cool. Lots of history right here at this beautiful racetrack. I remember watching Nicky Hayden win here.
Yeah, right.
Ricky Graham.
Parker and Carr.
Parker,
you know, Springer.
Schobert.
I mean, you can't go wrong, right?
Absolutely. 75
But it
years.
gets you thinking about all the great names that have run here and how cool it would be to be able to see some of them in action here.
It's amazing how just two people have dominated this racetrack. You know, the Prince of Peoria, Chris Carr, won here so many times.
And
then the King, Henry Wiles, won here 14 times. They're all consecutive from 2004 to 2018, and he is back with a year off of American Flat Track, and he was on the singles class when he left us at the New York Short Track. Last year was the last time we seen him, and he is back with us in American Flat Track, completed the road to recovery, and he's back here on his Kawasaki Twin.
And he's ready to go.
Yeah, he's focused.
This is not just an exhibition deal for Henry. I mean, he's here to win.
Absolutely. It would be something to win 15 races at one track after taking a full year off.
And all those wins in a row, right?
Yeah, 14 were in a row. There was one year we missed for rain, and then we also didn't come back here in 2020. The pit area is right here in the center of the racetrack. You can see the big haulers are unloaded. They got their tents, their war wagons, and their motorcycles, and that's where they pit, right here in the infield of this racetrack. There's Henry Wiles right there.
And I hope that's things that never changes about this event.
Absolutely.
You know, there's certain things, I know it's probably a hassle for the guys to haul everything in and get it all set up, and they're so used to having everything in their transporters and their haulers right where they like to have it, and the ease of it and the air conditioning and all that. But this would look just wrong.
Yeah, if that infield was empty?
No, if it was full of...
Well, that too, yeah.
Yeah, if it was full of stuff as opposed to being just a tents like that, it just wouldn't look right.
Absolutely. Still working down here in turns 1
right,
and 2.
go
We
ahead,
got
truck.
a question from the truck. So the question from the truck is, a lot of people have, done good at several different tracks. You've been around all kinds of different motorsports, different kinds of racetracks. Have you ever seen one person own a racetrack like we just talked about Chris Carr, but more importantly, Henry Wiles 14 times in a row.
Yeah, the one that comes to mind is not exact. I mean, 14 in a row, I can't think of really anybody who's close to that. The one that maybe comes to mind that would be similar, the King, Steve Kinzer at Knoxville.
Yeah, that's a good one.
King was, what is he, 11 nationals or 14? Might have to go back and look, and we can try to do that before the day's over. But the King's double digits up there in Knoxville, Iowa, on the big half mile up there. And again, just like with Henry here, when you've won that many over that many years, it's not just that you won, it's think about all the people they had to beat during that time period
every year
to get those wins.
There's one of his early victories on the Zanatti Racing Honda. That's Henry Wiles. I remember the one year he won and everybody's giving him a hard time. He stopped and did 50 push-ups on the back straightaway on the jump.
So then if you King up there, the next one up there would be Donnie Schatz, because Donnie's gotten on a roll up there as well.
Absolutely. King Henry. He might be the man on top of the box. I think with the group of riders we have right now, the riders that have won here before, of course, Henry Wiles in the Premier Class, J.D. Beaches won here, Breyer won here in 2019. Those are only 3 in the Premier Class that have won a Super Twins race here. But you got Janish, who's won 3 times on a single. He's in the Production Twins class, but he, if he finishes in the top 4, can move up into the Super Twins class. He could be a factor.
But to go a little further with that question, if you think about that, like, okay, so what are some of the other more dominant performances? Well, you go, A.J. Foyt won 4 Indianapolis 500s, right? There's a couple of guys that have done that now. Big Al, Rick Mears, and Elio. But 4, that's it, right?
Right, absolutely.
And everybody thought of A.J. as dominant at Indy, but that was 4 here with Henry.
And you look at Darrell Waltrip at Bristol, the old Bristol.
Yeah.
He dominated there. But again, consecutive wins, that's just what's the most impressive to me is 14 in a row.
Oh, 100%.
So the truck says Henry's winning streak is almost old enough to drive a car legally right now. That's 14. It's amazing.
And when you think about that, yes, Henry had to perform. Don't overlook the mechanic. Think of how Henry had no mechanical failures of any kind during that entire period too, and that's impressive as well.
And he's won on Hondas, Kawasaki Singles, Kawasaki Twins, and it doesn't matter what kind of bike he rides, he'll put it to the top. So
think about how many things that could go wrong, right?
Exactly.
Now, in a single season, if we're going to talk about that, the one that jumps to mind is James Stewart and Ricky Carmichael, who both won every moto in motocross. Outdoors, and Ricky did it 2 years.
That's amazing.
That is just insane. What is it, 24 motos in a year? 24 races he did.
That's amazing.
Without a failure, both of those guys.
Taking a look,
it's just incredible.
Yeah, taking a look at our 2022 as the bikes pull onto the racetrack. We'll get back into that in just a few moments. But the bikes are pulling on the racetrack. This time they'll come out, they'll get a little practice start. This is practice round number 2 for your Premier Class Mission Super Twins, sponsored by S&S Cycle. The number 1 is the Jammer Jared Meese. The 3 is Breyer Bauman. 32 Dallas Daniels. 95 J.D. Beach. 44 is Brandon Robinson. 20 is Jared Vandekoy. 37 Bronson Bauman. 67 Davis Fisher. 27 Robbie Pearson. 25 is Ben Lau. And the 17, the King Henry. Henry Wiles on that 17 bike. This is our second round of practice. Remember, Breyer had some issues in that first round of practice, was messing around with his front brake, was looking down at the motorcycle, trying some different things out there, just did not ever look comfortable on that number 3 Factory Indian S&S Cycle sponsored bike. Bauman on the latest Motors XG750 Harley-Davidson. The big radiator sticking way out on that 37 bike. Want to keep that thing cool. Right there behind him is the 44 Robinson. There is the 37 Harley-Davidson, the only Harley in the Premier Class. Bronson Bauman, the younger brother of Breyer. Love to get a TT win on his record. He's got that big 37 out there. Again, those radiators trying to catch a little bit more air to keep that thing cool. Through the switchback right here, the quick right-hander, and then the final corner. Normally flat track turn 3 and 4. Latest Motor Racing George Ladies comes to most of the events to support his rider. Brombo, 37, Bronson Bauman up there in the 7th position. That just drops to 8th as Pearson goes past him on the speed charts. Wiles to the head of the class. The 17 Kawasaki at 26.515. 26.515 so far for Henry Wiles here in this second round of practice. Bronson's going to have some company coming. Here comes the 44 going on by. There's Henry Wiles, the Hammer. Donnie Barton used to call him Hammer and Hank. Now we just call him the Hammer. 17. Looks like the packing is coming out of the tailpipe on that number 17 bike. Little exhaust packing coming out the back end. No problem. White flag. Wiles is off. Hear the difference. I bet he heard the different sound. He's looking down. See, there's the end of the pipe deck. The back of the tailpipe's coming out the back end right there. He heard it, so he pulled off the gas, and he's going to take it into the infield. There's actually a big rock right there on the racetrack coming up that final corner.
Well, it's going to sound significantly different pretty quick, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. And you can feel the horsepower change, too, probably, Ralph.
Yeah. Checkered
flag is out for the one rider, the Jammer, Jared Meese, up there in the 3rd spot. We have a new quick time here in practice, the 95 at 26.486 for J.D. Beach coming to the head of the class here next to the last. Long the 3 goes to the top spot. Briar Bauman on the 3 bike here in our second round of practice, a 26.432, so about 0.2 slower than they were in that first round of practice. But when that track is fresh at the very beginning of the day, there's nothing like a brand new racetrack.
You know, it's interesting. I was talking with Henry this morning. You know, when you talk to guys like Jared about racing on the miles, they talk about the 140-mile-an-hour chess match that it is, right? So the mental games of messing with each other and all that. And so I asked Henry, I said, is there any kind of a mind game? Because they all might want to know your secrets, you know, that sort of thing. He said the only thing he's ever been able to do is mess with a guy like during practice so that they want to follow him and see his lines and everything.
Right.
And he said a couple times he'd pull over and pretend like he hadn't turned his fuel on, let them go by, and then he'd get going again.
Right.
He said, but that's really now all the past races, so I can't hide any secrets anyway. It's all there.
Exactly.
If they want to do the research to watch.
Take a look back at the replay of what happened to Henry Wiles' motorcycle. Watch the tailpipe of it, on the right number plate. Here it's coming off. There's the packing hanging out the backside. As he got on the throttle, more and more of the there onto the racetrack. You can definitely feel the difference and hear the difference, so he backed off after that. Onto the racetrack right now, Mission Production Twins, sponsored by Benson Hines. 33, Jesse Janish. 1 is Corey Texter. 60 is Nick Armstrong. 109, Billy Ross. 51, Cole Zabala. The 10 is Johnny Lewis. 62, last year's winners, Dan Bromley. 61, Casey Sisko. 45, Shelby Miller. And the 30 is Brock Schwarzenbacher. This is their second round of practice. They added an extra round of practice today because they made those changes to the racetrack. Take a look at a replay of Jesse Janish on that 33 bike. This is over the jump. He jumps a little bit different. He likes landing with the front wheel down first. And he just had to hang on to it right there and don't let off the gas. We can see the dirt fly up when that rear wheel touched the ground because he never let off the gas.
Do you feel one's a better way to go about it than the other?
On the heavier twins, they seem to like landing on the rear wheel. On the 450s, the singles class, I don't think it bothers them as much to land on the front wheel because there's not as much motor weight right behind that front wheel.
What I would think is landing on that, you would want to land on that rear wheel just to get the drive going forward.
Yeah, land on the throttle. Land on the throttle too, because that helps absorb the landing.
Yeah.
Janish, though, he puts that front end down, but he looks like he grabs the gas right before he lands it, brings the back end down. You know, they've learned a lot from watching motocross and supercross. You know,
there's an art to flying a motorcycle. There's no doubt.
100%, Ralph. Second round of practice, Mission Production Twins out here at Thunder Valley. Uh-oh. Johnny Lewis has an issue going on. He was third fastest. He was actually second quickest in the first round. He's third quick so far in this round. Now he gets up to speed. Now he gets out of the way. So Johnny Lewis having an issue on that Royal Infield number 10. Remember, Cameron Smith filled in for him while Johnny was out with an injury. The man in black will take that bike back to the pit area as the white flag comes out here. In our second round of practice, Janish at the top spot. Again, the 33, a 2.6.565. So the Super Twins were slower. The Production Twins were faster than they were earlier in that first round. Yeah, just never know. 2.6.565 for Janish. That is just 1/10, actually 12/10ths of a second off. Checker flag is out. Cisco Kid got a little bit of head shake right there on that 61. He's got a Kawasaki. They also have a Harley-Davidson in their stable. Look like they only brought the Kawasaki to race here today. Save that Harley for Rapid City next weekend. We go up to Sturgis Bike Week.
Really looking forward to that.
Never been to Sturgis Bike Week, Ralph.
Because it always conflicts with the Knoxville Nationals, and I was always at that. So you go where the paycheck sends you, as they say.
$20 is $20.
That's right. and this year the paycheck is sending me to Sturgis, and I'm thrilled with it.
But you're going to Knoxville for a couple days.
Yeah. I'll be there for a couple days, and it'll lead into Castle Rock.
Okay, perfect.
So I'll go from Knoxville to Castle Rock.
All right. Bikes are rolling onto the racetrack. Parts Limited AFT Singles, sponsored by Kicker Performance Audio. This is their second round of practice. They'll give them 2 chances to do practice starts right here in this one, and then in the first round of qualifying. The 12 is Cody Kopp, 13 Morgan Mishler, 79 Dalton Gauthier, 48 Trent Lowe, 18 Matt Swell, 21 Trevor Bruner, 106 Chase Sadoff, and the 19 is James Ott. The 48, the only bike that's been on the ground so far, did it in that first round, and he's on the backup motorcycle, I would assume. Times so far because he didn't have the transponder taken off that primary bike onto that backup motorcycle.
I guess the biggest question is, do you have the events planned out for Sturgis while we're there? I mean, you're the tour guide.
Well, I was born in South Dakota, but I was born on the other side of the state.
Yeah.
So, but no, I do. My whole family goes up there every year, so we'll have some fun.
Okay.
Sturgis Bike Week coming up.
Counting on you.
All right. There's the 18 of Max Whale. He's in hot pursuit of the 13 Morgan Mishler right there on the Turner Racing Progressive Insurance Honda. Man, that's a long straightaway on a 450. Shifting gears. We shifted gears on road taxis though too, Ralph.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's not fun.
No.
Those road taxis like being in one gear. I cannot imagine flying a twin over that big jump on the backside. 13 right there on the screen. Morgan Mishler would love to get his first win of the Peoria TT, put his name in the history books with all the other people who have won here. Up the inside comes the 18 of Max Whale from Kundu, Australia. The killer. One and two. A little shorter way around, maybe the fastest way. No rubber's been laid down there just yet.
That entrance into turn 1 is very unique too, because it's very, very tight, isn't it? It's a very aggressive. It's not an arc like you would see traditionally at a mile or a half mile.
It's not necessarily a 90-degree turn, but it's pretty close. I mean, and with the fence in, they actually cut off some of the end of the fence right there so they can make it a little bit smoother entrance into turn 1. But you're definitely right, Ralph. It was very sharp, a hard left-hander.
It's reminiscent of the entrance into turn 1 at Indianapolis at the Speedway, how it feels like you're going all the way down that long straightaway and then just quick to the left.
Yeah, these two guys are out here racing. I think Max is trying to show Cody that he's here to win.
Give him something to think about for sure, right?
Max was fastest in the first practice, and he's fastest so far in practice number 2. Trying the bottom line down here in turns 1 and 2. They're all over the motorcycles right now. Cody whipping it sideways over the jump, trying to get it back on the ground. Cody had a scary moment over the jump last year when he is first here as a pro rider. Here they come up that final corner, the 12 and the 18. The 12 goes all the way up to the fence. The checkered flag comes out. Cody's back there in the 3rd spot on the speed charts. Takes a look over his shoulder, says, who's pushing me? It was his teammate one more time, but still Maxwell fastest in this round of practice. There's 2 more groups. I'm not giving it to him completely, but a 2:6.487. So the only rider that really picked up speed from the first round to the second round overall would be the 33 of Jesse Janish in that production twins class, and I'm not surprised by that one bit.
No, Jesse, well, he's got all kinds of momentum going right now, but when you talk to him like I did earlier today, he's not feeling it at all. I was like really kind of surprised by that. He's like, no, you know, to me it's just what we do, go off and do another race.
He said it's just another race. Yeah, that's what I talked to him on the way up here, actually, too. I talked to him on the phone, and he wasn't that pumped up about it. I don't know if he's just trying to play it off and trying not to get too excited about it. There's a look at that Peoria TT shirt. They got 3 have their shirts on already. They've already got autographs.
I went with the black.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. JD Beach is on there. The next group rolls on to the racetrack. It's group number 2 of your AFT Singles. 26 is Aiden Rusev. It's 24 Hunter Bauer. At Showtime, 99 Kevin Stallings, 80s Brandon Kitchen, 55 is Tyler Raggio, 63 is the Jet Jared Lowe, the Spanish flat track champion, 377 Ferran Cardus, and the 49 the California kid Chad Coase. Those are the bikes on the racetrack. It's group number 2 of your singles riders. Looks like they're trying to get on the ground quicker than normal over that jump. Not quite as much air.
A little more of a scrub.
Yeah, keep it low, get on the throttle sooner. I think that's the plan this year, it looks like, trying to.
Well, that was the whole theory that James Stewart came up with Bubba Scrub that he developed. And, you know, the quicker you're on the ground with that rear wheel driving forward, the better becomes the lap time.
I agree 100%. And, you know, he paved the way. Bubba
Sure
Stewart
did. Sure
yeah,
did.
Exactly. Now you got flat trackers trying to emulate that, trying to get it low as quick as they can, get back on the gas. Ferran trying to get some clear racetrack. He's trying to give everybody some room, and now he's starting to pick up the throttle right now because the time starts when he goes across the start-finish line, and for him, it's only practice round number 2. There he is, really swinging wide. You see he's picking up the pace right now. Ferran Cardus, the 377 out there. Oof. Grabbed a little bit too much handful right there on that drier track. Look at him air it out, though. We just talked about how everybody's keeping it low, and he really jumped it really far.
Yeah. He really sent it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He's letting it all hang out. You might as well do it in practice and see which lap is faster. They're pushing the limit, come off that final corner, going way up to the edge of that dirt mound right up against that fence. What I used to love about this racetrack, you know, not only the racetrack, but again, pitting in the infield, and then the spectators just walk up to you, get an autograph all day long. They go right through the tunnel, be in the infield. You can watch the race from all over this beautiful facility, and there's no bleachers, and there's no bad seat in the house.
There is not, that's for sure.
Keep an eye on the 377 Ferran Cardus. He's up to 12th right now. He's catching up to Jared Lowe, the 63. That might slow him down a little bit. Now he moves all the way up to 6th. So he did the good thing by giving himself some clear racetrack. Unfortunately, he's fast enough. He's catching up to some other guys already. He really likes airing it out over that jump.
Hey, well, you know, sometimes it's just a confidence thing, right? With the confidence, if you don't mind doing that, you can send it a little bit harder. That might make up the difference for you.
And that's what Jake Johnson would do. You know, when he raced on the 450s and even the 600s, he would air it out as far as he could. That way he never had to let off going up the jump. That was his theory. 377 goes by Hunter Bauer on the 24. Hunter Bauer back there in the 14th spot. Ferran is all the way up to 7th right now. This might be a pretty quick lap. He did have to make one pass, so it might have slowed him down a little bit, but this looks like a solid lap for the 377. Look, he's even tucked in and drafted on that front straightaway. Looks like he moved up to the 6th position on that last lap. Even though he made a pass, he gets up to 6th with a 2:7.104. So the fastest 5, actually from the first group, the fastest one that was just on the track was the 377 Ferran Cardus. He's a Spanish flat track champ. He also rides Supermoto over there in Spain. And he's really good friends with the Bullet Brad Baker. That's one of Brad's bikes in the Vanilla Cycle team, and Bullet Strong. Kevin Anderson was helping work on those bikes. There it is. So far, 2 groups down, 1 more group to go in this second round of practice. Maxwell at the top spot, 2:6.487. Morgan Mitchell right behind him. Cody Kopp is 3rd. Trevor Bruner, the only Yamaha in the class, is 4th. And Dalton Gauthier is in 5th. Ferran right there, 6th. Up next, the final group. Second round of practice for the singles. 94 is Ryan Wells. He had a good practice first round. 119, Logan McGrain. 91, Justin Jones. 56, Jordan Jean. 132 is Pierce. 14, Jacob Lehman, a former winner here. And the 53 is Blake Steinwagner from Illinois. Those are the bikes on the racetrack. Third and final group of your singles riders. They come out according to their point standings right now. And I think the 94 and the 91, the two first impression teams, riders right there at the top two spots, they want to start getting some better finishes and move up the points. You know, move up higher into the top 10 of the points.
Yep.
Wells on the 94, he likes this place. He loves the TTs. Second round of practice. The fastest time so far is a 2:06.487. There goes Wells up the jump.
You know, Henry was asking about that earlier. I said, are we going to see any more this year? He said probably at Castle Rock as well.
All right, that's just a couple of weeks away.
That's good news. We look forward to that.
Absolutely. They're reconfiguring some of that racetrack as well. Brad Baker's kind of helping them out, trying to make that track a little bit safer, a little bit wider for some better passing. Wells on the 94. Up to the 11th spot here in this second round of practice. He looks pretty smooth, Ralph.
He sure does.
Just I say that he kind of bobbles and goes up the racetrack down to the far end, but that's all right. Looks like he had some duct tape numbers on the back of that.
Yeah.
Those leathers. Gotta do what you gotta do to make it in, right?
Well, we've seen guys forget helmets this year, right? Corey forgot his helmet. Had to borrow a helmet and make adjustments with that. So
the only thing I think worse than your helmet would be your leathers or your motorcycle.
Right.
I think a helmet, you got to have your helmet, right?
Can't do much without it.
Good thing he has his brother-in-law there, Briar, to help him out. Yeah, there's the duct tape leathers on the back of his leathers. Got to have your name and number on the back. Ooh, Justin Jones gets a little sideways coming off that final corner. Caught him in the tail end of that right there. His teammate 94 as well is up to 9th right now on the 94 bike. I think it's pretty cool. There's two tunnels. There's a tunnel underneath the jump, and there's a tunnel over there outside of the final corner to go into the infield area.
Do you feel it on the racetrack at all?
You know, over the jump, obviously you don't even pay attention. There's something underneath you, but that final corner, I don't even remember feeling that at all. The cars do go across there, the big haulers and stuff. I don't remember feeling it ever. So that dirt is so hard right there. I don't think it matters.
Because obviously there's a lot of racetracks where there's a tunnel underneath. You can feel that, and that might have been part of the problem for the man directing our broadcast.
That tunnel turn right there.
Brian Lockwood, yeah, I think
he lost it.
Well, he was out.
Is that what happened to my Super 73?
Yes, he was out giving them. They were working on some camera angles and shots and stuff, and he was just going to be a bike on course, just give them something to look at. And got a little head shake over there, and things started to get a little out of control, and little tank swap going on, and before you knew it, old Brian was
on the ground.
On the ground, yeah.
Now I know what happened to my Super 73. It's got a bent crank, it's got a flat tire, and my gas tank's scuffed up.
Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Then Brian's got a lot of racing experience. He wasn't quite a Porsche factory driver, but he a lot of laps for the company out of Germany.
All right, pretty cool. That is it for our second round of practice right here for the singles. Max Whale, the Australian rider, at the top spot, 2:06.487. Morgan Mishler, second on the Honda, 2:06.623. Cody Kopp is third, number 12. Trevor Bruner is fourth. Dalton Gauthier is fifth. I know you stopped by the rookie class 79 booth. Did you see what the print of Dallas Daniels that they've got going? That's the raffle for today.
And it's beautiful.
Yep. Dallas got his first ever win here. It was on a single. That was his first time to move into the pro ranks back in 2019. He had a wild ride or two last year here. We'll see a little bit of that later on. And the CAT equipment comes back out onto the racetrack to smooth out some of these bumps just a little bit. Again, this track gets used once or twice a year. That's it. So it takes a little while to make sure the track and the surface is good to go. So they're trying to smooth it out. Again, special thanks to Caterpillar. They're right here. If you need anything moved, get a CAT.
Well, no doubt about it.
Absolutely. So up next on my list, Mission Super Twins, their third round of practice. And then we'll get into qualifying out here today. 2 rounds of qualifying for all the classes. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Mission Super Twins, their final round of practice right here from Thunder Valley. It's the Peoria TT.
seen multiple lines, draft passing. Should be really exciting. So here we go. Oh, this is spectacular. Here in front of a huge crowd in a key race.
An epic battle awaits at Black Hills Speedway in Rapid City, South Dakota for the Black Hills Half Mile on Saturday, August 6th. Get your tickets now at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
The way this racetrack has turned out, AJ, it is incredible. They can run high, low, middle, anywhere they want. We're talking 8 riders in contention for this right now. The final corner awaits. Look at this track. Briar Bauman's going to have to use the track. Briar Bauman wins 2 years in a row here at Williamsburg.
Something bad, your hands on the wheel, got a sexy touch. It's enough to make me and my Chevy blush so long. Take it all off the damn highway, turn me on, not let you drive late. You can take it fast as you want to. Little dirty looks damn good on. Start me up, Stones on the radio. Girl, I love it when you let go. Long way, short way, in the wrong way. Get off on some 4x4 play.
Parts Unlimited, the people behind We Support the Sport, welcome you to this high-action event. We are proud to join with race fans everywhere in working to ensure that our sport gets bigger and more exciting each season. And you too can support the sport by visiting your local dealer who stocks products from Parts Unlimited. They've got the very best in high-performance parts and accessories and the best support network in the business. Parts Unlimited. We support the sport.
Progressive insures over 5 million boats, motorcycles, and RVs throughout America. Get a quote in under 4 minutes at AmericanFlatTrack.com/progressive to see how much you could save.
Brought to you by Yamaha and its best-in-class lineup of power sports vehicles. For more information on how you too can experience the pinnacle of performance both on and off-road, visit YamahaMotorsports.com. Mobile View has been providing state-of-the-art LED video screens to sporting and special events throughout the U.S. and Canada since 1999. We use our vast experience of thousands of events to help guide the process of finding the right size screen to help make your event a memorable experience for your fans and sponsors. With over 300 World Championship titles, for 44 years, Öhlins advanced suspension technology has been providing the pinnacle of suspension for all areas of motorsports. For road or track, dirt or asphalt, when you choose Öhlins products to elevate your performance, you get Öhlins USA support and service to keep fueling your passion for excellence.
S&S Cycle was born from a passion for racing and has spent over 60 years building high performance for the power sports market. All the while, racing has remained at our core, from the Bonneville Salt Flats to championships in Progressive American Flat Track. S&S is the go-to for high performance on and off the racetrack. Memphis Shades brings you a whole new level of style when it comes to motorcycle windshields and fairings. The quality, style, and selection set these products apart from the pack. Memphis Shades designs and builds all windshields, fairings, and hardware in-house. Raw materials in, finished goods out. Made in Memphis. Style that works.
Dunlop is the official tire of Progressive American Flat Track. We make tires in America for racing and street racing, such as our creditworthy Progressive American Flat Track Spec racing tire, the DT4, and the DT3, which is now the street-legal K180. Learn more about Dunlop tires at DunlopMotorcycleTires.com. Race fans, VP Racing Fuels offers a full line of power sports fuels, lubricants, coolants, and appearance products for track and street. From pro racers to weekend warriors, we help riders make more power. Ask your local power sports dealer.
From the flat track to the strip to the street, it's ARP fasteners for your bike. If it's for show or for go, ARP makes the highest quality and most dependable fasteners with strength for performance and good looks. The speed demons of American flat track racing trust ARP for maximum clamping force that leads to victory lane. When failure is not an option, it's ARP-bolts.com, no matter what you drive.
The darkness is full of demons, hazy creatures who lurk in the shadows. prowling under the cloak of dusk. But we're not demons. We're beasts.
If you ever dreamed of blue skies, fresh air, and blue-green water, then look no further. If your idea of heaven on earth includes velvet golf courses, romantic evenings, and sun setting, then you owe it to yourself to check our Southwest Florida's beautiful Punta Gorda and its neighboring areas. At mydigitallisting.com, we have been making dreams come true for over a decade. Supporters of American Flat Track since 1999, our team of professionals are ready to help you find your vacation, investment, and permanent new residence in paradise.
And welcome back to the 75th running of the SC2 Peoria TT, sponsored by the Country Saloon. Speaking of the Country Saloon route, there's an after party at the Country Saloon we get done today. Take your ticket stub down there and get $5 off.
I'm in. Let's do it.
All right. I think we're going there afterwards.
Okay.
The Cat crew is still out there working on the racetrack. They're putting a little bit more moisture down. We have, looks like we get into our, actually, one more round of practice. I'm sorry, the Mission Super Twins get 3 rounds of practice today, and then we'll get into qualifying.
And if you hadn't figured it out, by the way, that was a look at downtown Peoria.
Beautiful. We're staying on the east side of
other
Peoria.
side of the river.
Yeah.
I looked out my hotel room window last night, and there's a minor league baseball team here, the Peoria Chiefs.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I didn't look it up. I don't know who they're affiliated with. But anyway, they had a ball game last night. The ball game was over, and they lit off fireworks. So I sat there and watched the fireworks. It was great.
I was over at the Peoria Speedway. We did the Joe Baggett Memorial Short Track last night and had a good time. Jeffrey Carver Jr. actually raced with us and took the win. So it's good to see
bring
Jeffrey.
Any barbecue?
What's that?
He bring some barbecue?
He didn't bring me any barbecue. I only got to see him a couple times. He actually came out during opening ceremonies. We paid honor to Joe Baggett. It was the first annual Joe Baggett Memorial Race. It's pretty cool. Neat little short track.
I'm told by the truck the Chiefs are affiliated with the St. Louis Cardinals.
That's perfect. They're just right down the road, not too far away.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, we're pretty close to Chicago.
Yeah,
you would think they'd be
could
affiliated
be Cubs
with
White Sox affiliation too.
Yeah. All right. You never know.
No. They won their game, so they're happy.
Peoria did?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Saw it on the news.
Getting set to go with the final round of Qual, or final round of practice, I should say, for the Mission Super Twins, sponsored by S&S Cycle. Here's a look from our drone from up above. This super long front straightaway we've been talking about. So one of our camera guys, Mazzoni, brought a speed camera, like a radar gun.
Glenn Mazzoni, yeah.
Kristen Beat's going to try to get out there and get a top speed for us at the end of that front straightaway. We've heard, like last year, they were hitting about 103.
Well, and you can see as you look all the way down to the final corner how it really opens up. You can get on the throttle pretty early in that last corner and really carry a good chunk of speed out onto that front straightaway and run it down there pretty deep.
Like we've said a few different times. There's Mazzoni right
There's
there
Glenn.
on
Give
the
us
lift.
a wave, Glenn. There he is.
Yep, he's listening to us. He's up there on that scissor lift, and that is actually his radar gun. We're going to try to get some top-end speeds here a little bit later on today. Look, he's got the camera on the drone camera. That's kind of cool. Having some fun out here today. There it is.
There's Glenn's shot. Fortunately, he remembered to take the lens cap off this time.
So I first met Mazzoni back in 05 when we did Live Ice Sports.
Ah.
Yep, that's when I met the tree also, Brad Jones.
I've done a lot of races with Glenn over the years.
He loves him some flat track. I also did some arena cross with him this past couple of seasons. Yep. All right, let's take a look at our Super Twins point standings as we come into this round here at Progressive American Flat Track. It's the jammer, Jared Meese, but the points lead is dwindling. He has 3 wins on the season, but he has 173 points. Breyer, 2 in a row, is closed up to second with only 8 points behind the leader, Ralph.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch this one go all the way to the end of the year.
Well, look at these top 4 in the points. I think any one of those top 4 can win here today.
I think any one of these top 4 have a shot at the championship. I know JD's a bit of a stretch at 134, but you never know. I mean, you got 3-mile races coming up, and the Yamaha could win all 3 of those. You got another TT.
Castle Rock.
I mean, JD could really go on a tear here.
So JD was running near the front at the last round at Port Royal, twisted his ankle a little bit, faded back, got a bad finish out there, so he dropped a few points a little bit down there, still in fourth. Brandon Robinson, he picked up the win at Lima. He's up there to fifth. Vandekoy is right there. He goes good here. Bronson's in seventh. Davis Fisher's in eighth. Janish, the only riders in the top 10 in both the Super Twins and the Production Twins. He's ninth here in our Super Twins. Why risk it? Watch her husband Briar, her brother Corey. Speaking of the singles class, let's take a look at the AFT Singles point standings coming in. Look at that guy. 6 wins so far for Cody Kopp. 205, a 55-point advantage over Morgan Mishler.
The guy who has the best shot at beating Cody Kopp is Cody Kopp.
I think you're right.
I mean, he's just on a tear. He's got all the momentum. He's got a huge points lead. Just don't make mistakes, right? Just
right. And the other guy that looks really strong so far in practice is his teammate Max Whale. Max missed a couple of rounds. He's got a hurt left leg, but it doesn't look like it's bothering him one bit today.
No, and I wouldn't be surprised if Max doesn't go off and win 1 or 2 between now and the end of the year. But as far as taking over the points lead, I don't think anybody has a shot at doing that unless Cody just starts forgetting how to ride.
Well, barring a catastrophe, a mechanical, but then he could still jump on a backup bike. I mean, he still has his provisional, hasn't used that just yet, so he's pretty much guaranteed to make, the next few main events for sure, if not all the main events. And, Cody Kopp, keep it on 2 wheels. He might win his first ever AFT championship.
Be amazing.
And then we'll see what happens next year. Will he stay in the singles class? Will he move up? What will happen? We'll have to wait and see. Still doing a little track prep out here on this TT. You asked earlier in our production meeting, how long is this track? I've been told it's a little bit over a half mile. I've been told it's right around a half mile. So it's got that super long front straightaway. So it might be, I think it's a little bit over a half mile.
I think you're probably right.
There's a look at the aerial shot from our drone right there.
Well, and you think about it, if you straightened out that back section, right?
Right.
It definitely would be over a half.
It'd be like a long half mile like Sealands Grove or something like that. Got to go there for the first time a couple weeks ago.
You did.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. All right, let's take a look at the Production Twins point standings coming in. It is a 1-point difference. Jesse Janish on the Vanson Hines Harley and Corey Texter on the G&G Racing Yamaha both have 3 wins. This one's going to go down to the wire, I think.
It was funny. Jesse and I were going over the races between now and the end of the year.
Yep.
And where he thinks he or Corey have an advantage. And it pretty much works out even all the way through. The one that could be the difference maker is the race in Wisconsin.
Okay, because we've never been there before.
Jesse has.
Oh.
Jesse might be the only guy in all of American Flat Track who's ever raced there, and he raced there when he was a kid.
Okay.
So Jesse said, he goes, it's not much of an advantage. He said, especially when you're racing somebody like Corey. He said, but it might be the one.
What I'd like, too, is we'll finish up the season down at Volusia, and both those riders go well there.
Well, and he talked about that. He said, I know Corey goes really well at Volusia.
Correct.
So he's going to be looking at that race in Wisconsin as the one that maybe where he can build up a couple of points and hopefully is just enough of a cushion going into Volusia.
At some point, do you stop racing up into that premier class and just focus on that championship? What do you think? I mean, Ralph, a championship means a lot, but also racing against the top guys in the Super Twins class means a lot too.
I think you do what you've been doing.
Right.
I think when you start to change things up and you get out of your rhythm, you get out of your mindset, that's when things start to get off.
I agree with you.
It's when guys go, oh, I got a huge lead. I'm up by 30 seconds. I'm going to back off a little bit. Now all of a sudden you're out of your rhythm.
Yep.
And then you make a mistake.
Yeah, or you get passed or something stupid happens. Yeah, I would agree with you, except for when we get closer down there, we've seen Corey. He sat out a few of them and was just trying to save things and maybe not put the wear and tear on the motorcycle. So whatever works for you. But, yeah, those top 4 in the Production Twins main event can have the option to move up and race in that Super Twins race. And also I want to talk about the Production Twins. A fan has donated $268 in memorial of Ryan Varnes, and that will go to the hard charger in that Production Twins main event. So we're going to keep an eye on that, who starts at the furthest at the back and who passes the most guys to get a better finish. We'll pick up an extra $268, and thanks to that fan who donated that to us.
That's very nice.
It's right here in front of us.
It's very nice.
Hello?
we'll take care of that when we get done before we pull out of here today. I like the day races, Ralph. What do you think?
It's cool. I love a mile at night. I think the paint sparkles a little bit more.
Testing.
You know, well, our truck is giving us a hard time because I said Sacramento because it's my hometown race.
Right.
But Springfield it's
a day race.
It's a day race, so there you go, truck. Gotcha. But I think the miles at night, red mile, for example, I just think the helmets glisten a little bit more.
The speed
just seems faster. I like racing, period, at night. You know? Yeah, day races are good. For once, you and I will be able to have dinner before midnight.
Before a drive-through window.
Yeah. But there's something about speed at night is just different.
So when I was coming here growing up, you know, as a youngster and racing here, it was on a Sunday. So it made it hard to get back home to go. You know, Dad had to go to work on Monday. I probably had to go to school or whatever, or maybe work. But, you know, Sunday was the tradition here. But if it rains on Sunday, you can't come back on Monday or typically. So they've switched it over to Saturday. So kind of started a new tradition of Saturday racing here at Thunder Valley as we take a look at that big earth mover from Caterpillar.
I think it works better for the fans to have that fallback. If you want them to come from a long distance, give them that next day to get up, drive home, so they're not going home late at night.
Take it easy on their way back.
Yeah, production crew can get home a little bit easier.
Who?
Yeah. Although there's not a lot of flights out of Peoria back to Charlotte, so I didn't have a lot. I'll be here most of the day tomorrow.
Did you go out of Peoria or did you go out of Bloomington?
I flew into Peoria.
All right. You're first
Daytona,
class.
I flew from Daytona to Peoria.
For Ralph, you know, first class seat on your own airplane, probably.
Not in my own airplane, but I did have first on both connections on the way up here, and I have it on the way back tomorrow. Dude, that's just because of all the miles I've earned.
No, it's just
that's not somebody buying me the ticket.
He walks up and talks to the lady at the desk.
I don't have a rider that says
I got to sit at the front of the plane.
I don't have a rider that says no green M&Ms and I need first class. That doesn't exist. My face is my credential.
That's it, huh? So that's why you wear that when you walk into you're wearing that credential and that shirt when you walk in there, and everybody knows who you are.
Yeah, AJ Foyt did that at Meadowlands Grand Prix, New Jersey. Got stopped and the guy didn't know who he was, and he says, "My face is my credential. I'm AJ Foyt."
Wow. All right, so they're still doing a little track maintenance. We're behind the 8 ball just a little bit. Mission Super Twins, their third round of practice is up next. We'll take a commercial break. We'll be back to Thunder Valley.
Speedsport has been America's motorsports authority since 1934. Get news, results, and commentary from the most connected experts in the business, covering all forms of motorsports from flat track to NASCAR and everything in between. Bookmark speedsport.com on your mobile device now, or follow Speedsport on social, and be sure to subscribe to the Speedsport Daily. Speedsport is your one-stop shop for all things racing on 2 wheels and 4.
Something about your hands on the wheel, got a sexy touch. It's enough to make me and my Chevy blush so long. Take it on, with that highway, turn me on. I'll let you drive, babe. You can take it fast as you want to. Girl, little dirty looks damn good on. Start me up, Stones on the radio. Girl, I love it when you let go. Don't waste your way in the wrong way. Get off on 4x4 play.
You don't take greatness for granted, and neither should your gear. We are Torch Eyewear, and we design sunglasses for protection, performance, and chasing your passion. For more information, visit our website at torcheyewear.com and click on our free Home Try-On program.
Al Lamb's Dallas Honda is proud to sponsor the Al Lamb's Dallas Honda Singles Challenge. It's a winner-take-all, $2,500 dash for cash. Enjoy the fastest and richest 4 laps in AFT Singles racing. Al Lamb's Dallas Honda, dallashonda.com.
Sideburn is the world's finest go fast, turn left magazine. It is available to buy at Progressive AFT's trackside merchandise booths and is the official magazine of Progressive American Flat Track. For more information, visit sideburnmagazine.com.
Brought to you by Yamaha and its best-in-class lineup of power sports vehicles. For more information on how you too can experience the pinnacle of performance both on and off-road, visit YamahaMotorsports.com.
S&S Cycle was born from a passion for racing and has spent over 60 years building high performance for the power sports market. All the while, racing has remained at our core. From the Bonneville Salt Flats to championships in Progressive American Flat Track, S&S is the go-to for high performance on and off the racetrack. Tired of replacing your battery every year? It's time to buy the world's best lithium battery, the Pulse IPT, with up to 1,200 cranking amps and unmatched reliability. There's no better battery for your bike. Visit Full Spectrum Power in the paddock today or on Instagram, Facebook, and the web. Start something. Power everything.
SolarFit, America's solar team, is a proud sponsor of American Flat Track Racing. Get your complimentary solar analysis today at AmericanFlatTrack.com/SolarFit and let the sun power your home or business for free.
Progressive insures over 5 million boats, motorcycles, and RVs throughout America. Get a quote in under 4 minutes at AmericanFlatTrack.com/Progressive to see how much you could save.
SBS is your single source for brake parts and components. From pads to rotors, shoes, and other important parts covering motorcycles, scooters, motocross bikes, ATVs, and UTVs. We create the power to stop you so you can go ahead. Find the right parts for your bike at www.sbsbrakes.com.
Parts Unlimited, the people behind We Support the Sport, welcome you to this high-action event. We are proud to join with race fans everywhere in working to ensure that our sport gets bigger and more exciting each season. And you too can support the sport by visiting your local dealer who stocks products from Parts Unlimited. They've got the very best in high-performance parts and accessories and the best support network in the business. Parts Unlimited. We support the sport.
Race fans, VP Racing Fuels offers a full line of power sports fuels, lubricants, coolants, and appearance products for track and street. From pro racers to weekend warriors, we help riders make more power. Ask your local power sports dealer.
And welcome back to Thunder Valley. Bikes are already on the racetrack. Our final round of practice for your Super Twins. This is it for the practice session. When we get done with this, it'll be qualifying from here on out for the rest of the classes. Number 1, Jared Meese is on the racetrack. 3 is Briar Bauman. 32, Dallas Daniels. 95, J.D. Beach. 44 is Brandon Robinson. 20 is Van de Kooi. 37 is Bronson Bauman. 67 is Fisher. There goes Meese over the jump. 27, Robbie Pearson. 25, Ben Lau. And the 17, the hammer, Henry Wiles. Ooh, looks like Meese went a little too low right there in that left-hander route.
Sure did. He pushed it down there pretty far. Beach out in front of him.
And Beach won here last year. Jared Meese has never won here, Ralph.
No, and I was talking with him about that a little bit. He did mention, you know, the tracks that were regulars, if you will, on the calendar. He never won at the Indy Mile either, but that's no longer on the regular schedule, of course. This is the only venue that's on the schedule that's a regular, not like a one-off type deal that he's never won at.
He would love to put that on the list right here. Jared Meese has been the bridesmaid, I think, 7 times here.
Yeah, and of course, most of those are going to be the Henry Wiles, right?
Absolutely. Look at the 27, Bugs Pearson from right nearby, Mossville, Illinois, Washington, Illinois area. 37, Bronson Bauman. There goes the 32, Dallas Daniels. Had a couple of wild rides here last year.
And part of that for Meese is, yeah, he wants to show that he can win the famed TT and be a winner in Peoria. That's a big deal, right? The other part of it is just get the media off his back, because every year, of course, when Peoria is next up on the calendar, everybody comes up and says, hey, when are you going to win Peoria, you know?
Right, right.
I remember it was the same thing with Dale Earnhardt Sr. going to Daytona every year. Same deal. When are you going to win Daytona? Then he finally did. That story finally went away for him.
Right. That's got to be a good feeling to have. So Jared Meese could do it today. He's got a quick pace going right now at 2:06.316.
Well, and when you're a racer like that, you know, how do you answer that? Right. There is no answer to that because there's so many things that have to go your way. It's not like, oh, I've just got to try harder. I mean, they're giving it everything they've got. He's doing everything he can to win the event. It's just those little lucky breaks that make the difference, right?
Right there on the last lap, JD Beach goes to the top spot. The 95, last year's winner, goes to the head of the class with a 2:06.203. That's the fastest lap of the day. Is the track getting faster, or the bike's just getting it figured out? You know,
maybe JD's just getting it figured out.
JD at the 2:06.203, the quickest lap we have seen here today. Right there, the 95 Estenson Racing Monster Energy Yamaha. JD Beach to the top spot, 2:06.203. Meeson second, 2:06.316. Dallas Daniels, 2:06.328. Henry Wiles, 2:06.393. And Brandon Robinson rounds out your top five, a 2:06.468. That surprises me. Robinson, not usually known as a TT rider, he's up there even faster than Breyer and Vanderkoy.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about Breyer. I mean, he had a bit of a rough start to the day, right? A little bit of a mechanical issue that he was trying to figure out. I'm hoping he's got that under control now, and he's not far off the pace.
It just didn't look like he was happy with the front brake setup. He kept pushing down, but then he was looking down too. So he wasn't happy, but he'll get that thing figured out. So the Mission Production Twins roll onto the racetrack. 33, Jesse Janish. The 1 is Corey Texter. I don't see Janish pulling out there. Where is he at? He's just now hopping on his motorcycle.
Corey was looking for him. Where did you go?
Yeah, because Corey didn't want to go out in front of him. So Janish maybe stalled the bike, maybe hopped on the backup motorcycle. But this is actually qualifying right here. This is qualifying round number 1 for your Production Twins bikes. So these times are recorded and they will count. So times start the next time they go across the start finish line, 1 full lap to get up to speed, and then the green flag will wave officially. So basically a full lap to get up to speed. Corey Texter, the 2-time champion, his final season with American Flat Track. He's going after the 60 bike of Nick Armstrong. So the clocks have started for the riders here. It's qualifying round number 1 for your Mission Production Twins. This class is sponsored by Vance and Hines. I love Corey. You know, he always goes for that red, white, and blue. Love it.
It's a great look. Good. Yeah, it's a great look.
Absolutely. The G&G guys do a great job with the bikes, and Corey always comes with the fresh helmets and nice paint jobs. Grabbing some traction, pulling that front wheel in that front straightaway as he gets by Nick Armstrong on the 60. Corey moves up to 3rd on that lap. It's Janish Zabala, Corey Texter. So the Harley-Davidson out front, a Harley back there in 4th. Schwarzenbacher on the 30 bike is up to 5th right now, Ralph.
When you see the red, white, and blue leathers like that, does it take you back to a particular look?
Evel Knievel?
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going.
Or, you know, I think the team Hondas, when they...
Hondas in the 80s, yeah.
Especially like when they came to the TT and they had the motocross jerseys and pants, you know, Bubba Schobert, Ricky Graham, you know, they had the red, white, and blue.
Speaking of that, I was over by the Turner Honda guys earlier today.
Yeah.
All I'm going to say is get ready for Springfield.
All right.
They're going to have
throwback going on.
They're going to have some really, really cool looks for us.
And I heard
at Springfield
might have a special guest or 2
or 3,
possibly a different motorcycle might show up.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I think if you're anywhere near Springfield that weekend and you don't have your tickets, go get them. I think Labor Day at Springfield is always a tremendous weekend, and this year those guys at Turner Racing Honda Group are going to make it a little bit more fun.
That's September the 3rd and 4th, just a few weeks away. We have 4 weeks in a row of racing.
Honda hasn't been there since 1988.
The factory Honda.
Factory Honda,
on a mile.
On a mile.
Right, exactly. Keep an eye on Corey Texter right now. He's up to 3rd as the white flag comes out. Still Janish with the quickest lap so far. The 33 bike here is at 2:06.965. So these guys are about 4/10 slower than they were in that last time out. So the track changes, it seems like, every time they go out. He was faster, then he's slower, now he's faster again. Janish, 2:06.965. Corey's looking like he's feeling pretty good today.
He's looking pretty racy, isn't he?
Yeah, and he'll admit it. TTs are not his favorite as the checkered flag comes out.
If we're talking about the big picture towards the championship, yes, Corey wants to win. I don't think he has to win here today.
No.
But if he can be on the podium, that's as good as a victory. second would be spectacular, especially if he's second to Janish,
Well,
right?
if Janish, yes.
Right,
If-
just minimize the damage.
Yeah, if Janish wins, Corey needs to be right there, second or third, to minimize that damage. Exactly, well put. Janish, top spot, 26.965. Cole Zabala, 27.7. Almost a full second between first and second.
Now, if you're Jesse, I think you need to be, I think a win is not mandatory, but you certainly have to be a spot or two in front of Corey no matter where you are.
Well, especially at a TT course, because that's what his forte is. Even though he said he's not that confident coming in here, he's got to do his best to come out
You
here
want to
with a win.
maximize.
On the track now, Parts Unlimited AFT Singles qualifying round of 1. Look at Cody Cobbs at the very back of the pack this time. Instead of going out there and battling with his teammate, he goes off at the back of the pack. It's your first round of qualifying on the racetrack. Parts Unlimited AFT Singles. This is qualifying round number 1 for your singles riders. So look at Max Whale. He won here last year. Good to see him back up to full speed after missing a couple of rounds with the injured left leg from the Red Mile. Max is still looking for his first win of the season. Whale sitting back there in the 5th spot. His worst finish was a 6th this year, but he did miss Laconia and the Lima half mile. So other than that, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 1/6 for Maxwell. So he's proven that he's got these American tracks figured out.
Oh, no doubt about it.
It almost looked like he downshifted twice right there going into turn number 1. Did it look like that to you, Ralph?
Yeah, a little bit.
Man. Maybe you got set up to use a little bit more grunt coming off the corner. He's looking really racy today.
Oh, yeah.
Back in kind of come around just a little bit. There's an upshift. And I don't think
that looked like two there,
almost
didn't
two
it?
downshifts going to that first corner. That is a lot of work going on out there. He's run the very bottom down here, turns 1 and 2. Whale on 18, grabbing a handful in the air right there, really twisting the throttle. He's feeling it. You can just see the way he's riding. He's feeling really
He's
good
very
today.
comfortable.
Kind of letting it all hang out.
Yeah, that bike is moving around a lot.
It's not slowing him down,
He's
though.
definitely hitting it twice.
Yeah, there's a lot of rubber as they throw it off into turn number 1. Not a lot of rubber coming off the corner. Maxwell, 26.590. So these guys are a little bit slower than their last round. Also, 26.590. Mishler up there second, 26.668 as the white flag comes out. Killer Whale. Ritter in 3rd. Gautier 4th. Sadoff up there in 6th. He's from Illinois. He's right now your Mobile View Rookie of the Year leader. Whoa, got in there a little bit too hot. A little bit
Almost
sideways.
got high-sided there.
Yeah.
Made him think about it for a second.
That lap will not be very fast right there. One little mistake will slow you down a little bit. Checkered flag is out for the Killer Whale. Kundu, Australia on the factory Red Bull KTM. Maxwell looking over his shoulder. He was probably looking for his teammate, wanted to see where that 12 bike was.
I was wondering about that a little bit too, as far as was Cody looking to see if he started at the back, how far up he could get, coming through the traffic? Or
I think he just didn't want to mix it up with Max that time. I think they did it in the first
clean track.
Yeah, the first 2 rounds of practice. So I think they were trying to figure each other out then. But I think he just wanted a little bit of clean track, but it didn't work out for him because he's back there in 4th at the 26.972.
Do you have any idea where Max's hometown is?
Kundu, Australia.
Yeah, no,
that's all I
but
know.
do you have any
I've
idea
never
where
looked
it
at a
is?
map. No, I'm not. Have you?
No.
Yeah. I think his other home is just down the road in Illinois. He stays with Buddy and the Gunthers and Jill and all those folks down there, down by St. Louis. Here comes group number 2. 26 is Aiden Rusev, 24 Hunter Bauer, 99 Kevin Stallings, 80 is Brandon Kitchen, 55 Tyler Radjo, 63 is the Jet Jared Lowe, 377 Ferran Cardus, and the 49 as Chap Coase. And the 377 at the very back of the pack is Ferran Cardus. He wanted to have a clear racetrack as well. As we'll take a look at Kitchen, who was flying here last year until he had that wild ride we saw a few moments ago on the replay from last year. Bike ended up in the creek bed. Kitchen ended up taking a ride in the ambulance, actually, unfortunately. That is the Vance and Hines Husqvarna I don't know that I've ever ridden a Husqvarna. Have you?
I'm trying to think. I've been to their facility in Southern California.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I have.
Maybe we'll ask him to take that for a spin.
Yeah. Be good.
Just having some fun up here in the booth. It's lap number 1, group number 2. Parks Unlimited AFT Singles. The 26 Aiden Rusev is taking a look over his shoulder. Want to make sure he had some clear racetrack. Aiden started in flat track, left for a while, went sprint car racing for a little while, and now has made his way back to flat track. And
I've done that. Driven a sprint car.
Yeah, I'm jealous. Still haven't done that.
And I'm not. You would love every second of it.
Absolutely. There's Hunter Bauer. Got his first podium a few weeks ago, the Canadian rider.
That's the great thing about flat track racing. It's very similar to sprint cars. It's like the sprint car, two-wheel sprint car racing, right?
Yeah, so two-wheel sprint car
Very
racing,
similar.
no cage.
Cage.
Yeah.
No big wing.
That's right. Hunter Bauer and the NKR Canada team. Back up front, looked like the leader just downshifted a couple times too. So they're using that, using the transmission on these 450s, the AFT Singles class. There goes the 80 up and over the jump. Here comes everybody else. Still it's Maxwell at the top spot here in qualifying round 1, 2:06.590. Bruner's led every lap of this one, but he is back in 9th place right now with nobody to chase after. You know, it's him versus the track basically right now, and he's got nobody to chase after as the white flag comes out here in our first round of qualifying for your singles. Look how low he went down there coming off of turn number 2. Maybe trying some new lines, Ralph.
Exploring around a little bit. You know, it's getting a little dry out there. Maybe searching for some moisture.
Moisture will typically go down to the inside of the racetrack on a banked racetrack. There's not a lot of banking down there in turns 1 and 2, but maybe some fresh dirt.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's been some parts of our country that have gotten a lot of moisture lately, way too much.
Uh-oh, Rusevans pulls off. Looks like he's holding his left leg right there, but Rusevans pulls off 1 lap early. Checkered flag comes out for the rest of the riders. Where's Ferran Carduci's up to 4th right now, the Spanish flat track champ, 2:06.877.
So we certainly hope if you're in one of those areas and you're a fan of American flat track and you're tuned in, we sure hope you're okay and things are drying out where you are.
Maxwell at the top spot, 2:06.590. Mishler keeping him honest right there at the 2:06.668. Bruner's in 3rd, 2:06.771, and Ferran, who is just out there in that 377, moves Cody Cobb down to 5th. So Ferran in 4th at 2:06.877. One more group in our first round of qualifying for your AFT Singles riders. The Super Twins will be up next. Here comes the 3rd and final group. 94 is Ryan Wells, 119 Logan McGrain, 91 is Justin Jones right there on the screen. 56 is Jordan Jean, closest to us from Midland, Michigan. Row 2 is the 132 of Pierce, 14 Jacob Lehman, 53 is Blake Steinwagner.
Did you catch a false neutral there?
Yeah, I did. I kind of a little hesitation right there. I was looking at
Every
Justin.
announcer's done it.
Yeah, I was trying to read his lips and see what they were saying because I think it looks like they keep pointing over to that last corner. Something was going on. Now they're joking with each other, but
You're just looking at it and you're going,
yeah.
I know this. I know this.
Exactly.
And
Yep, and there it just poof.
I did an ASA stock car race once in Denver, Colorado.
Yeah.
We were going live. I was pit reporting. I shouldn't even be telling you this live on the air. We did the rehearsal for the Open. I was going to do like a walk and talk, you know, kind of like your
pit walks,
yep. You know, go right down the grid and talk about some of the guys. And we rehearsed it, went absolutely perfect, no problem. Go right back, reset. We're literally live 30 seconds later, right?
Yeah.
30 seconds later.
Right.
No time to forget.
Right.
Oh, I forgot. I get through the first 2-3 guys, no problem. I get to the 4th guy, and I'm looking at him. He's sitting in the car.
Yep.
And I can't think of his name. So I think, okay, no problem. I'm telling you all these stats about the guy, everything I wanted to say.
Except
so
his name.
I think, well, so where do you go? I go, oh, roof of the door, right?
Right.
Name's nope. It doesn't have his name above the door. He's like Richard Petty didn't put his name on the door.
Right.
So I thought, okay, well, driver's suit. I mean, he's got to have his name
on his chest.
Nope, no name on the driver's
Wow.
suit either. I was like, oh man, I could not come up with the guy's name. I just put a period on my sentence and moved on. Just left it hanging.
Well, you have to.
And the truck, unlike our truck, who's on top of the game.
Right.
Our guys are great.
Nobody gave you
the truck that day couldn't believe I could remember it.
So they didn't.
They're like, oh, he's going to get it. And they didn't realize until I just moved on that I was really struggling. So
Whoops.
nobody helped me out.
They're looking at something on the racetrack outside that final corner, but, you know, things happen, you know, and you know, we have a lot of notes up here, and sometimes you don't have the right note in front of you, and, you know, sometimes it just disappears for that split second.
Oh, yeah, right when you need it the most.
Do you remember who it was now? Do you have any?
I knew you were going to ask me that. No.
That's the best part. The best part is that driver does not matter.
And no, he did matter because he was a good driver. He wasn't a champion or anything like that. But I mean, I knew him very well.
That's funny.
And I can picture him clear as day right now, and I still can't think of the guy's name. Oh,
Final group coming out. Final group pulling out. Parts Unlimited AFT Singles, sponsored by Kicker. Rolling onto the racetrack. See one of the ambulance is making its way around the racetrack too. With no harm, no foul. They'll keep on going. 94 is Ryan Wells. 119 Logan McGrain. 91 is Justin Jones. 56 Jordan Jean. 132. All we have here is Pierce. We'll get his full name here pretty soon. He's a new rider with us. 14 Jacob Lehman. He has won here before. He's from Snohomish, Washington. Lehman won here back in 2014. He's also riding one of the Bullet Strong Brad Baker Vanilla Cycles entries. And the 53 from Marissa, Illinois. That is Blake Steinwagner. Bikes on the racetrack. This is the final group, first round of qualifying for your singles class. I'm gonna have to find out the story why Wells has a duct tape number on the back. I don't quite get that because he's been with the First Impression team the entire season. So maybe he outgrew his leathers, or his leathers might have shrunk like mine did.
Yours shrunk?
Yeah, they don't fit no more.
That's what happens when you throw them in wash with hot water.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Oh, here's Kristen with the radar gun. 79, 80 miles. Hey, Kristen.
She's only about at the finish line, so they're going well past that into turn number 1.
So you topping out around 90?
I think on the 450s, 90 is probably a good bet. I think last year on the twins, the Super Twins, they're up to like 103 at the end of the front straightaway. But she's right there at the finish line. You know, that's a pretty fast on a 450cc bike that's meant to race motocross. All right. Well, let's check in with Kristen Beat down there at the radar gun. Kristen, how's it going?
Yeah, my good friend Glenn Mazzoni actually let me borrow his radar gun. And thanks to JD Beach and Ray Rizzo, we figured it out down here. And as you can see right here, I'm going to peg the gun. And that time came in about 80 miles an hour. And through the last few laps, I've kind of been watching as the pack progresses, anywhere between 70 and even top siding at 84. The average mile per hour for this front stretch here at Peoria. So when you think TT, you don't always think lightning fast speeds, but guys, 84 on a single, that's pretty quick.
And again, Ralph, they're right there at the finish line, so if she had moved down there right by turn number 1, I bet they're, like you said, about 90, I bet would be a top speed on a 450.
What do you think the top speed is at the top of the jump?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know, because you're coming off turn number 2, you're not letting up, you're shifting up into one more gear, probably 70? 65-ish? I don't know.
Boy, if Kristen can make her way over there, I'd really be interested in that. Wouldn't you?
Well, that, and also I'd like to see the top speed at the end of the front straightaway because it's such a long straightaway. But yeah, you know, if she could get where they're landing when they're coming towards her on the jump, she is gonna go check it out for us.
Girl.
All right.
That's a reporter.
She's the hardest worker on the crew, by the way.
That's a given.
Absolutely.
Sure isn't you and I. Sure isn't you and I.
That's right. We're over here eating PMC burgers. She's out there working.
Well, burger for some of us, burgers for others.
Plural, Ralph, plural.
Yeah, I did get my one in. Thank you, Tommy Duma.
Just one. Yeah, we had special delivery from Tommy Duma. That was qualifying round number 1. It's Maxwell with the top spot, 26.590. There's Jacob Lehman. Here is the tutor session going on. Joe Kopp and Cody Kopp. Cody's off the pace just a little bit, back there in 4th after this first round. Joe Kopp won out here in 1997 on a Rotax. Yep. That's when he's number 43.
Yeah.
That's probably the year before he went through the creek.
Yeah.
But Cody Kopp, he's learning right now. Joe Kopp, they're talking things over. Andrew Butler's right behind him, the crew chief. As the water truck rolls back onto the racetrack, up next, the next thing on the racetrack will be Mission Super Twins, their first round of qualifying, and then we'll have Production Twins, their second round of qualifying. Parts Unlimited AFT Singles, second round of qualifying, and Mission Super Twins, their second round of qualifying. Track prep continuing out here at Thunder Valley. It is the 75th running of the SC2 Peoria TT, sponsored by the Country Saloon. We're going to take a quick break in the action. We come back, Mission Super Twins back on the racetrack here at Thunder Valley.
Our main event tonight, we've seen multiple lines, draft passing, should be really exciting, so here we go. Oh, this is spectacular. Here in front of a huge crowd in a key race.
An epic battle awaits at Black Hills Speedway in Rapid City, South Dakota for the Black Hills Half Mile on Saturday, August 6th. Get your tickets now at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
Riders, let your queries be known.
Yeah, hi. Instead of letting passengers wrap their arms around us, can we put little handles on our jackets?
Deny.
Can you imagine?
I want a new nickname. Can you guys start calling me Snake?
No, Brian. Denied.
How about we all get quotes to see if we can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer?
Approved.
Cool. Hey, if Brian's not going to be Snake, can I be Snake?
No.
Hey, is that your stomach growling? Or the sound of thousands of cc's circling the track? Fuel up for race day with Mission Foods. Rev those taste buds with fast and easy to create recipes that are Winner's Circle delicious. Try some of our mouth-watering tacos to piled high nachos, fresh chips with guac, and more. Start those engines, because Mission has you covered from the green flag to the checkered flag. Now that's too fast, too tasty.
Progressive insures over 5 million boats, motorcycles, and RVs throughout America. Get a quote in under 4 minutes at AmericanFlatTrack.com/progressive to see how much you could save.
The rookies of '79 are former racers and champions of the sport who reunited in 2009 to form the official charity for American Flat Track. 10 years and over $1.7 million raised for our injured racers. Visit rookies79.com to see how you can help.
In the next 24 hours, over 1,000 teens will attempt suicide in our community. The fear and stigma surrounding suicide should not be a barrier to seeking help. Suicide prevention is not a spectator sport. Get informed, get involved, and save a life. For more information, visit racetostopsuicide.com.
Al Lamb's Dallas Honda is proud to sponsor the Al Lamb's Dallas Honda Singles Challenge. It's a winner-take-all, $2,500 dash for cash. Enjoy the fastest and richest 4 laps in AFT Singles racing. Al Lamb's Dallas Honda, dallashonda.com.
Dunlop is proud to be the official tire of Progressive American Flat Track. What we learn from racing is rolled into our production tires, such as the Dunlop K180, a street-legal version of the aggressive DT3 flat track tire. With the K180, street riders can now have the authentic flat track tire experience. No other tire company has won more American motorcycle championships than Dunlop.
Race fans, VP Racing Fuels offers a full line of power sports fuels, lubricants, coolants, and appearance products for track and street. From pro racers to weekend warriors, we help riders make more power. Ask your local power sports dealer.
The way this racetrack has turned out, AJ, it is incredible. They can run high, low, middle, anywhere they want. We're talking 8 riders in contention for this right now. The final corner awaits. Look at this track. Briar Bauman's going to have to use the track. Briar Bauman wins 2 years in a row here at Williamsburg.
From the flat track to the strip to the street, it's ARP fasteners for your bike. If it's for show or for go, ARP makes the highest quality and most dependable fasteners with strength for performance and good looks. The speed demons of American flat track racing trust ARP for maximum clamping force that leads to victory lane. When failure is not an option, it's ARP-bolts.com, no matter what you drive.
Johnny Lewis, American Flat Track racer, but also I run the Royal Enfield Slide School. Having Senna as a product that I use to kind of get the information to somebody quickly. You know, I'm able to communicate with them directly so they can see it right in that moment.
You're picking the throttle too soon. Go faster down the straightaway.
Work with Senna has allowed me to help make people faster, but also safer on the motorcycle.
Our main event tonight, we've seen multiple lines, draft passing, should be really exciting, so here we go. Oh, this is spectacular. Here in front of a huge crowd in a key race.
An epic battle awaits at Black Hills Speedway in Rapid City, South Dakota for the Black Hills Half Mile on Saturday, August 6th. Get your tickets now at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
The rookies of '79 are former racers and champions of the sport who reunited in 2009 to form the official charity for American Flat Track. 10 years and over $1.7 million raised for our injured racers. Visit rookies79.com to see how you can help. Parts Unlimited, the people behind We Support the Sport, welcome you to this high-action event. We are proud to join with race fans everywhere in working to ensure that our sport gets bigger and more exciting each season. And you too can support the sport by visiting your local dealer who stocks products from Parts Unlimited. They've got the very best in high-performance parts and accessories and the best support network in the business. Parts Unlimited. We support the sport.
Everything we do at the track shapes what we build for the street and the dirt.
You can see how bad these guys want it. A race to the line.
For us, racing is not for the trophies or the glory. We compete because it makes everything we do faster, more durable, and tested to a higher standard. For S&S, racing is the ultimate in proven performance, and we've been proving it since 1958.
Seen multiple lines, draft passing, should be really exciting, so here we go. Oh, this is spectacular. Here in front of a huge crowd in a key race.
Hey, Washington State race fans. Progressive American Flat Track is back in the state at Castle Rock Race Park on Saturday, August 13th for the Castle Rock TT. Get your tickets now at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
And welcome back to Thunder Valley is what they call it down here, but it's the Peoria TT. It's the 75th running of the SC2 Peoria TT, sponsored by the Country Saloon. up here checking out this beautiful day. Perfect weather. Chamber of Commerce weather is what they say. It's in the mid-80s right now. The sun is out. There's a few clouds, but it is beautiful for some racing action. A few updates here. They're working on the racetrack. We're behind just a little bit. And don't forget, every year, every class, they race for the championship ring. Special thanks to TDFJ. Tom Duma Fine Jewelers. There is your Production Twins points leader right now. It's the 33 of Jesse Janish. He has a 1-point lead over Corey Texter as they come into the Peoria TT. That is your Production Twins points leader. Every rider gets to design their own championship ring, so it's a one-of-a-kind piece. Moving on into the AFT Singles class, it is Cody Kopp, the number 12 bike. He has been on a tear lately, and he is looking to take his first AFT championship and design his own championship ring. Again, special thanks to Tom Duma Fine Jewelers from Ohio. And there's 3 classes racing for those championship rings, and the final class is the AFT Super Twins, and your points leader coming in, it's the Jammer, Jared Meese. He's looking to design another championship ring. And again, TDFJ, the official jeweler of American Flat Track. And how cool is it? Joining me in the booth right now is the man himself, Tom Duma. How cool is it for you to give back to our sport that we both love?
Well, it means everything to me, right? This was what I dreamed to be, a national champion one day from the age of 8 years old, motorcycles, and then walking away, having a family, and then coming back in 2009 and being able to partner with AFT and design the rings, and it's an honor.
So what made you design the switch from the Rolexes to the championship rings that they get to design themselves? What brought on that change?
You know, a ring has, to me, a lot more meaning. Super Bowl, you know, everybody chases that ring. They want the ring. And so we said, let's start doing rings. And in the beginning, they had a number 1 on it. They had all the components, right? Grand National Champion, the year date, the class, and things like that. And then as we got going along, we had to give those at the year-end banquet. And I said to the powers to be at AFT, what if we design the ring after the championship, so then we can put their name on it. We could personalize it and do all those things, and they agreed. And so now what we're going to do, we're going to have a ring ceremony at Volusia at the opening round next year in 2023. Is when we'll actually present it to the final product. Yeah, the final. Well, they'll get it ahead of time, but they'll bring the ring there, and that way, the public will be able to see it.
Awesome, I love it.
Yeah, so we're excited to do that.
How is the jewelry business right now?
You know, jewelry business is centered around love. And people fall in love whether it's a recession or not. and those guys that fall in love for the second time, they've got to buy a bigger diamond. And the third time, some of those, we love those guys that like to keep getting married.
All right.
Love this track, too.
How many times did you race here?
I raced here 3 times.
And?
79, 80, 81.
And
never made the program.
It's tough.
In 81, we were able to ride a TT or singles.
Okay.
So we built a Yamaha TT 500.
Yep.
I couldn't jump that any better than the XR.
Right, exactly. So I was going to say, how was it jumping an XR 750 over the jump back in the day?
It was, for me, I was don't look at it now, but I was a skinny little kid back then, and holding on to that XR 750 and the cushion was one thing, but doing it over a jump, it was into a right-hander.
Yeah.
No, I just didn't ever feel comfortable.
Had your hands full. So have you made your way into the pit area so far? I see you got your credential on. I know you told me you're watching. Your favorite seat so far is watching at the midpoint of the jump on the back straightaway with Donnie Bargeman called all those folks the jumpers.
Yeah, for sure. You know, this is the first time back in 41 years.
Where have you been?
I know. It was always on the schedule, you know, 3rd week in August, and it just never worked out. We ended up going to Springfield, but this is the first time back, so I never knew where to watch the racetrack from.
You see this right here? That's 75 years, and it took you 41 years to come back?
How about that?
Yeah, don't rush into it, Tommy.
But I'm glad I'm back, and I got to spend some time in the paddock this morning from 9 to about 10:30 and talking to all the guys, and everybody seems ready.
What I like about this place, and I was talking about with Ralph too, is you pit in the infield, you unload your bike, your canopy, and your war wagon, your toolboxes or whatever you might need, a fan, and you're right there with the people.
It is neat. On the other side, for the teams, they don't have their transports, the air conditioning, all those things, so they're more out in the element. It's really like old school dirt track.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The king.
Question coming in from the truck right now. So how did you transition from a professional flat track racer? You held 2 national numbers at 2 different points in your career, but how do you make the transition from a professional motorcycle racer to a jeweler?
All right, so short story. So my dad had Yamaha of Warren when I was a novice.
Warren, Ohio.
Warren, Ohio.
Okay.
Him and Jimmy Accazelli's father. And so being the businessman that he was, he figured, you know, he should have a write-off or be able to support us racing. So that was the Yamaha shop. And when I crashed with Chucky Springsteen on the straightaway at Indy in 1981, it was like it broke my spirit. You know, everything that I wanted to do was to be a Grand National champion. And so at that point, retired from racing, my dad says, you want to go work in the Yamaha shop or you want to come work in the jewelry store? And again, my heart was just so broken. I says, no more motorcycles. So I went to gemology school and went into the jewelry business.
Gemology school.
Gemology school.
I didn't know there was such a thing.
There is.
I learned something new today. TDFJ, Tom Duma Fine Jewelers. Tommy's up here in the booth watching a little bit of practice. Ralph went to go get some more PMC burgers. Thank you for the last one, by the way.
You're
I appreciate that. So are we trying to set a record today of how many I can eat, or what are we doing?
I heard, what is it, 7, 8, or 12?
It was like 13 at one point, I think they said, but I'm pretty sure it was only 6. But I've had 3 already today. So
well, you should be eating one right now, buddy. If you're going after the record.
No, I can't. I don't think my pants will fit later on.
I'll run you back some burgers.
There's Dan Bromley's bike right there. Look at that beautiful Yamaha. That is the rider who won here last year in Production Twins, Dan Bromley. He's got a good shot to win again this year.
He was looking good in practice and qualifying.
Yeah, look how that gas tank just kind of sits inside that frame right there. A lot of custom fabrication on that thing.
Yeah, Dan goes good on TTs.
Yep. He goes good pretty much everywhere.
Everywhere,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Well, he was a Grand National champion in singles, right?
Well, yeah, and he was done racing. He raced earlier this year, and then he was done. He shows up again at Port Royal, and now he's back with us. He says probably for the remainder of the season, but I was hearing some rumors that maybe the Memphis Shades Yamaha team might not make it out to the West Coast swing, so we'll have to see how that unfolds. That's just some rumors I'm hearing. You know, I hear a lot of stuff because people tell me things for some reason. I don't know why.
You're like a priest, I guess, right?
No, we're in the priest mobile right now. We're in the findingthefinish.com.
Right.
Raymond Rizzo's, his trailer, his studio, his booth, whatever you want to call this right now. So I'm not the priest. We have one of those. That's Raymond Rizzo, and I'm glad he's here with us. And,
absolutely.
Did you go to the short track last night?
I did. I was there for a little bit. The track looked really fast.
It was awesome. So that's Tommy Doom up here in the booth. Ralph Sheen's roaming around looking for some more PMC burgers. And Kristen B. Kristen, where are you at? What's going on outside? I think she's a little bit too far away, possibly. She was going to try to go over there to the jump side and take that radar gun and catch them, see how fast they're going when they hit the jump. Ralph wanted to know.
What do you think?
I'm thinking about 72. Let's see if we can try it again. Kristen, how you doing?
Hey, Scotty. So while we were in this break, I wanted to point out some of the ways teams are adjusting to racing on a TT. And mechanically, in the singles class, something I found kind of interesting, a lot of the teams in the American Flat Track Series are actually switching to what they call an up pipe. So this is what I've always grown up very accustomed to, where the bikes generally have a pipe that's further up on the bike. Now, generally in American Flat Track racing, the pipe is somewhere down here in this area. The reason that a lot of teams are actually running the higher pipe, the jump sometimes can complicate the landing, and they feel like it's a little heavier on the rear, so they'll choose to run an up pipe, and it kind of gives them the balance that they need to get over that jump. Now, some other teams have opted to go the more traditional route. So I talked to the Turner Racing Honda team, and they are running that traditional lower pipe. Scotty, what are the advantages and disadvantages of running an up pipe and a down pipe?
I think that the down pipe, you get a little bit more horsepower. The up pipe, though, will be safer over the jump. Excuse me. So when you land, if you flatten out, sometimes you would land, use all your suspension. Sometimes you flatten that exhaust pipe, Tommy. And Kristen, that's a very good point. Different pipes for a TT. Sometimes you don't want to land flat and flatten out that underswept pipe. And if they're sticking out a little bit too, maybe they get in the way a little bit. As there's a look at the Hondas right there. It looks like they've got the pipe completely off. Oh, there it is. It kind of comes out and goes up underneath. So they're not completely underswept like a twin bike or anything, but yeah, the 13 bike next door, that one right next door to this one, has the underpipe. All right, so Kristen, I know we're taking a look right now at the Turner Hondas. You were just talking about the 79's got the up pipe, but right next door, Morgan Mishler has that under pipe, Kristen.
Yeah, talking about the 79 bike, I actually checked in with Dalton Gauthier after those practice sessions, and he was kind of on the fence about running the low pipe, and he explained to the team kind of what he was needing from the bike, how he felt. So they are looking to make a few adjustments to that bike and maybe putting an up pipe to see how Dalton feels. As you said, the horsepower is something that could be complicated there, so he's going to get out on track, kind of see how he feels with an up pipe and go from there. But yeah, a lot of his teammates opting to run the low pipe instead.
And it looks like they're checking the sag too right now. He's got all his leathers. I mean, they're not on right now, but he's climbing on that motorcycle. He's got his helmet on, his steel shoe on. They're checking the sag, the rear suspension. As they make changes to that motorcycle, maybe the pipe's way different too, Tommy. I mean, there's so many factors that go into these racing machines.
For sure. As I was standing on the jump there, you get a lot of the times they're getting a little wiggle as soon as they hit the back end, comes down, and maybe because of the weight, could be that as well.
Super Twins rolling onto the racetrack. This is actually their first round of qualifying, so the clock will start the next time by. They take one full lap to get up to speed. You can see Dallas Daniels tucking in right behind JD Beach out there. The bike's on the racetrack. The 3 leads him out. That's Briar Bauman. Right behind him is younger brother Bronson Bauman on the Harley-Davidson. The 1 is Jared Meese. 32 Dallas Daniels, 95 JD Beach. 44 is Brandon Robinson. Looks very good out here today. The 20 is Jared Vandekoy. 67 Davis Fisher. 27 Robbie Pearson. 25 Ben Lau moving up for today. And the 17, the Hammer, Henry Wiles. You were out there, Tommy. Who was impressing you going up to that jump?
Briar looked really well, and so did Jared. They both had about the same distance. The last marker on the jump is where they're landing, and right on the gas, and barely lifted going into the right-hand turn.
And you said a few riders were just leaving it pinned wide open, landing on the jump through the right-hander. Henry Wiles.
Henry Wiles was not lifting at all.
And you said Jesse Janish was doing something similar in production twins.
Yes.
So as a flat track racer, we turn left. Those two guys are flying through the right-hander.
It's like it's not even there.
Right. So they're not even letting off.
No, they're trying to make it as straight as possible.
Man, Briar really let it all hang out right there in the middle of turns 1 and 2. There's the younger brother, Bronson Bauman. What I noticed earlier is those radiators sticking way out. He wants to keep that thing cool.
Right. Look at that.
I mean, it's obvious. You can definitely see them out there. Maybe it's because they're silver. I don't know. They just look like they're bigger and further out. Maybe a little bit higher on that motorcycle, too, than normal.
That wasn't like that last time, was it?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't know. It might. I think he rode this bike earlier, but maybe not in that last session. So maybe they're hopping on a couple different motorcycles. But that's the latest team. You know, Joe Kopp is the rider coach, kind of helping out Bronson. But it's the George latest Motors racing team, and yeah,
his Harley sounds completely different than anybody else's as well. It's got a much higher rev limit on it.
And he's got the upswept pipe right there too. Taking a look at what Kristen, following up on what Kristen was saying, the upswept pipe. With all these weight of these twins, I don't know if you'd want to run an under pipe, because you might flatten that thing out on the jump. I don't know if they're compressing the suspension that much, but
definitely heavier and more of an opportunity to flatten that pipe if they get a lot of air.
So Wiles' twin actually looks like a beefed up single. It's got some radiator shrouds on it. Looks like the Kawasaki. Probably like the Kawasaki, the old Jones Bros Kawasaki you own.
Right. I was talking to them earlier in the pits and looking at the frame, and it's all custom built, but it's based upon a motocross backbone and structure and geometry.
And not a quick lap for him just yet. Henry Wiles back there at 26.406. And again, this is qualifying, and I'd like to point out the rookie, Dallas Daniels, has the quickest lap so far, the 32 with a 25.974. That's the first bike in the 25-second bracket, the only bike in, actually, to be exact, the 32 bike.
Dallas went out there behind JD Beach. He must have got schooled on the first lap and then went out there and put the hammer down.
Must have figured it out. Dallas Daniels, quick time here in round number 1 of qualifying. The only bike in the 25-second range all day. So we got a rider down in turns 1 and 2, up against the air fence, picking his motorcycle up. It looks like the one bike, what is he doing? That's the jammer, Jared Meese, doing a little soil sampling. There it is. Dallas Daniels, our quick time so far with the 32 bike, a 25.974. Briar Bauman right there, 26.136. And close third is the 95 JD Beach, 26.174. Vandekoy, 26.363. And Jared Meese, who just fell off down here in turns 1 and 2, a 26.368. Wiles back there in 6th. Robinson, Ben Lau, Bronson Bauman, and Davis Fisher, your top 10 out here in Super Twins qualifying round 1. Onto the track, here comes your production twins, their final round of qualifying. They don't get a practice start this time. They go straight out, go to work. Corey Texter pulling out of the way on that G&G Yamaha. The time to beat is a 2:06.965 for the 33 of Janish. And I want to point out, Dallas Daniels is just now 1 full second, almost exact, over the 33 right there of Jesse Janish.
We'll see if Jesse can get her dialed in and break some records.
And maybe the track is faster now, or maybe there's more rubber down, maybe they're getting more traction. We know the crew's been out there trying to add some more moisture, smoothing it out every time they go out there. Again, turns 1 and 2 a lot wider. It's about 70 foot wide all the way through turns 1 and 2. What I noticed about Jesse, too, is over the jump, he keeps that front end down until right before he lands, he grabs a handful and puts the rear end down first.
Yes, he's got great form.
He loves to jump motorcycles. Did you know he worked at a cheese plant in Wisconsin for quite a while?
He's a cheesehead.
Well, he is a cheesehead. He's from Wisconsin, but he actually really worked for one of the cheese companies up there, and we're not going to throw any names out there, but it might be one of my favorite kinds of mac and cheese. I'm just saying. There goes the 10 bike. Johnny Lewis up to second. He had a mechanical issue a couple of times out a few moments ago. Had a little rough getting to that right-hander right there. What do you think about the Royal Enfield? How impressive is this to you that another brand that never been around in flat track and what he's doing?
Yeah, it's awesome. I love the brand. They have done a ton of R&D on that bike.
Affordable twin bike too. You can go down there and buy one and take it off the showroom floor and have a beautiful motorcycle.
I think they're like $6,000.
Let's check in one more time with Kristen B. Kristen, what's going on?
Yeah, Scotty, earlier in the broadcast, you and Ralph were wondering just how fast they're going on approach to the jump. Well, anywhere between 31 and 48 miles per hour is what we are getting these guys at on that radar gun that Mazzoni so kindly let me borrow. But anywhere between 31 and 48 is kind of where these guys are falling. I'll let you guys take it from there.
Rider down. Thanks, Kristen. Looks like the 51 of Zabala down over here in the first corner. His teammate stopping over there. It's Dan Bromley. Going to check on him. So he looks like he skid for quite a while in that 51 down there. That's one of the Memphis Shades Yamahas, and Moorhead is there with the rider as well as his teammate Dan Bromley has stopped over there to check on him, but didn't see what happened. We just saw that the Zabala was down on the ground on that 51 bike, and that bike looked like it skid for quite a while. Hopefully he didn't get too hurt down there, Tommy. That's the highest speed part of the racetrack going into turn number 1.
And hopefully he low-sided, not high-sided. It's hard to tell by the way the bike was running, but landed.
He is sitting up right now. They're trying to catch his breath. Steve Moorhead is right there. And here comes the medical staff that goes to all of the races. And here comes the Memphis Shades boys coming to check on their rider, Cole Zabala. He is from Illinois. He wants to knock this one off the list of places he wants to win as well. So hopefully he just had his breath knocked out. Right now he's sitting up. Right now, and then, of course, Dan Bromley, his teammate, just stopped over there to help him out. Dan did not go down. He just stopped to check on his teammate. You see all the dirt that's been moved around behind him, so that bike must have dug in a little bit. So hopefully it's just a low side, but from the markings, it doesn't look like. It looks like he might have went for a little bit of a wild ride.
You can see his airbag suit.
And the helmet is off. He's standing up and on his feet, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for Cole Zabala going down over here in turn number 1. The airbag suit is definitely deployed. You say it's inflated, so they'll try to push that thing down. And I think that thing is the second best thing. I think the air fences are number 1, but the airbag suits, here's a look at the low side. He's already sliding down. He goes tumbling, and then the bike kind of catches a little bit of a wild ride. Okay, the good thing is the bike didn't look like it hit him right there, but we kind of caught the tail end of that one. But Zabala going down, going off into turn number 1 at the highest speed on the racetrack. So, there he is trying to shake it off. Memphis Shades, Corbin Seats Yamaha rider. The team's pushing that bike down there. Hopefully he's all right. Just got the wind knocked out of him.
Handlebars are trash. Got to change those.
Gotta throw those away. Kristen Beat's going to try to talk to him here. We'll see if we can get a word with him. Kristen?
Hey, Cole. I know not the circumstances you would usually want to be talking to us over. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling all right. Just, when you go down like that, you got to just take a second and assess yourself and what's going on. I just needed a second to breathe. All these questions are being asked me, and I just want a second, just think about what's going on, what am I feeling, and, you know, 9 times out of 10, I'm fine. So just got to assess your body and go from there.
Cool. Thanks so much, and best of luck when you guys get back out there.
Thanks, Kristen. Good job being right there on the, Johnny on the spot, checking on Zabala, the 51 again from Illinois, going down right here, going into turn number 1. So a couple of guys have checked out the dirt. We didn't see Meese's action, but he was picking himself up off the ground down there in turns 1 and 2. But he might have went in there and tried that high line after the checkered flag just to see if there's any traction out there.
No, there's none.
No, I don't think so. It's a little bit loose out there on the high side. Here's a good look at the G&G Racing Yamaha. His nickname is the Bear, Corey Texter. It's his last year. What do you think about that, Tommy?
Yeah, he wants to spend time with Cruz, who happened to win last night on the PW50.
He was flying.
Yeah, so he's made up his mind. He wants to go out as a champion.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah, for sure. And but he's had a long, successful career.
Third generation racer. His grandfather raced sprint cars. Of course, his dad, Randy Texter, was a national number 65. And raced the Harley-Davidsons. And there's Corey right there on the number 1 G&G Racing Yamaha. Yeah, the grandfather's in the Sprint Car Hall of Fame in Knoxville, Iowa.
Is that right?
Yep, absolutely. Yep, it's pretty cool.
I remember Randy. Randy was...
you raced against Randy a little bit.
He's a little younger than I am, so he was... When I was quitting, he was beginning.
All right.
He's a rookie.
I like the G&G. I was talking to Ralph about the red, white, and blue, and he asked me, when I think about red, white, and blue and flat track, who comes to mind? And I want to know your response before I tell you mine.
Comes red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
So we're talking back in the day, or just
anybody? If you think about red, white, and blue, leathers, jerseys. Yeah, the truck says Evel Knievel, but I want to go some flat tracking.
Flat track. Well, you got me on this one.
They said Evel raced some flat track a little bit. So, yeah, they said he decided to jump Harley-Davidsons because he wasn't very good at racing flat track. But I don't know. That's just a rumor I heard. But, no, I think about the red, white, and blue. I'm thinking about Ricky Graham, Bubba Schobert in the Honda days, the Honda gear. Here, the red, white, and blue.
I'm thinking Stars and Stripes and things like that.
I know, but
you led me down a rabbit hole. You left me hanging there.
Bubba. You didn't bring your notes out here today. So
well, no, I just come in.
Your notes are empty. That's Tommy Doom up here in the booth. Let's check in one more time with Kristen B. Kristen, what's going on down there in the pits?
As you guys are kind of reminiscing up there in the booth, I was curious what you guys think about Henry Wiles returning to the Super Twins class, particularly you, Tommy Doom. You've got to watch him win so many times here at the Peoria TT. So to see him come back and actually be racing on a bike that he won on back in 2017, 2018, I kind of was curious what you make of it.
No, I think it's great. I think he wants to come back and prove in the Super Twins class that he can still get number 15.
He's won 14 of them. They were all consecutive with a rain out here and there, and COVID was a factor. But yeah, he won, 14 races from 2004 to 2018 in the Premier class. Henry Wiles is back with us. He'll be in the Super Twins on the racetrack. Mission Production Twins. This is their final round of qualifying out here. So how they get qualified, we'll put them in their starting lineups for their semifinals. Doesn't look like Zabala has made it back out there. That's all right. He'll go back to work on his bike, and hopefully he'll be back for the semifinals a little bit later on. White flag is already out. Janish out front, the 33 Harley-Davidson.
Yeah, they're struggling for grip in 1 and 2.
Yeah, and maybe it's because it's a new surface down there, down low where they're running. They've never raced there before, so there's not a lot of rubber mixed into that dirt just yet.
So you can see the groove ends right at the end, front straight, and then from there they struggle getting grip. Bike's twitching.
Well, it looks like they're kind of doing the same thing down at the opposite end of the racetrack, too. So the corners are a little bit looser. There's a groove on this long front straightaway. There's a groove going up and over the jump, and the right hand of the groove is laid down pretty solid, though, right?
Yeah, let's not forget what the last 4 or 5 years here, we've had so much moisture. Yeah. There's been a completely different type of track now. It's definitely dry.
Shelby Miller looks like he's having a problem with that 45 bike. That is actually, he blew up his motorcycle practicing a couple of days ago, borrowed this motorcycle, got it together at 3 a.m., and that is actually one of Robbie Pearson's own personal motorcycles.
Well, let's hope it's not, didn't break this motor.
For the 33 at 2.6, 2.6.555. That is actually the fastest lap Jesse Janish has put in the books. A 2.6.55 for Janish. He'll be quick time. Johnny Lewis up there second, a 2.7.267 this final round of qualifying. This is qualifying round number 2, so it's not the combined times just yet. Zabala is third before he fell off, and Billy Ross keeping his streak going. He's had some good finishes.
Yes.
He had bad results early in the year, some bad luck, but now he's got things going on. They're going to try to push Shelby Miller down this front straightaway, so there's not a real easy way to get back into the pits from coming the inside of 1 and 2. So again, Shelby's on that borrowed motorcycle from Robbie Pearson. He is a West Coast rider. He's all right, but get a little push back from Steve Moorhead, the Finley Flyer.
Did he fall, or did the bike break?
I'm not sure. We don't think we have anything on video, so that bike, again, is Robbie Pearson's own motorcycle, and Shelby is just found out that they're going to have their first baby, him and his wife. Just found out that she is pregnant. So
that's awesome.
Absolutely. Congratulations to Shelby. Singles are already staged up over here in the staging area. This is their final round of qualifying. The fastest lap so far in qualifying is the 18 with a 2.6.590. Are you getting jewelry orders up here while we're working? What are you doing?
No, I told my wife I was just going to come over, stick my head in and say hello, and then you had me sit down. She might not thought I could get captured or something.
I'm sure she can hear you talking.
Oh, I forgot about that. All right. Yeah, all right.
Oh, she'll be all right. Singles on the racetrack, their final round of qualifying. The 12 is Cody Kopp, 13 Morgan Mishler, 79 Dalton Gauthier, 48 Trent Lowe, 18 Maxwell, 21 Trevor Bruner, 106 is Chase Sadoff, the Rookie of the Year leader, and the 19 is James Ott from Simi Valley, California.
I was talking to Chase earlier in the pits, and he was wondering why there's no Rookie of the Year championship ring.
Well, that's a good point.
I said that's a good point. Exactly what I said.
He gets $7,500 instead from Mobile View, but you have to have something to commemorate it. I think they got to come up with something. I think I know a jeweler that can help them out. You're working on something for me and Ralph that
I'm excited about that.
Might be able to talk about that a little bit later on, but I can't wait to keep that moving forward. There's the 12 bike, the hottest rider in American flat track right now.
4 in a row, 5 in a row.
Might as well be 10.
Well, yeah, if you count semis and dashes for cash.
It is 4 in a row, 6 total this year, and he's got all top 4 finishes at every round this year. By 50-some points, 53-point lead, 55-point lead over Morgan Mishler. Mishler's got the quickest lap so far. Look at that. The 13 bike, 2.6.932. I didn't think Mishler was a TT rider, and he was feeling pretty confident earlier today.
He always goes good on TTs. He does a lot of moto.
He's just an all-around good rider. You know, what I've always liked about him, what I've always talked about, is he doesn't follow anybody. He goes and looks for a new way around.
That's right, Junior. He's always trying to move forward. You can't do that sometimes, just follow.
That's right. Sometimes a rider, and when you get set in your ways, you find your own line, you don't look around. And Morgan he's always looking around for a fast way.
Just look back right now when you said that.
Exactly. Looking around, see who's keeping up with him, and that's nobody right now. Nobody's up there behind him. Cody Kopp's found something. He had a little pep talk from his dad, Joe Kopp, a few moments ago. We caught that on camera, and whatever they said, it is working out for his favor right now. So Cody Kopp right now with a 2.6.784. Maxwell in his first round was a 2.6.590. You see the track's drying out just a little dust kicking up right now as the white flag comes out here. Group number 1, final round of qualifying for your singles riders. What do you think of the booth up here? This is nice, right?
I like it.
Yeah.
Air conditioned.
That's why you're in here. Your wife's going to be really upset now. You just told her a little secret you probably shouldn't have. Good. Mishler on the 13, Turner Racing. American Honda. Checker flags out for the 12. Cody Kopp takes one hand off the handlebar. Still has the quick time here in this second round. Not going to be quick enough to take the overall top spot, I don't believe. Still Maxwell in the top spot, but Kopp fastest in this second round as Maxwell went off at the back of the racetrack that time. You know, the first 2 practice sessions, those 2 were going at it like it was a main event.
Exactly. They were getting it.
They probably talked to each other and said, okay, let's not do that anymore, because it was probably slowing them down a little bit, to be honest with you. Yeah. Maybe they're pushing each other. I don't know. It's hard. It's one way to look at it. But Cody Kopp here in the second round, a 2.6.784. Morgan Mishler, Maxwell, Trevor Bruner, Sadoff is back there in 5th. James Ott. Dalton Gauthier just doesn't look like he's comfortable. We saw him a moment ago when we were talking about the pipes, when Kristen was talking about the 2 different kinds of pipes they're using. They were working on the sag of the motorcycle, just doesn't like the suspension. So Dalton's still trying to find some speed. Group 2 pulls onto the racetrack. 26, Aiden Rusevens, 24, Hunter Bauer. 99, Kevin Stallings. 80s, Brandon Kitchen. 55, Tyler Raggio. 63, Jared Lowe. 377, Ferran Cardus. And 49, Chad Coase.
Ferran looked really good out there in the first qualifying.
Yeah, he was really riding the motorcycle, all over it, but looking very fast. Bruce Evans from Illinois Riders, part of the FBI, the Fast Boys from Illinois. Down there, Southern Illinois. Behind him is Hunter Bauer, the Canadian rider doing for NKR Canada team. That was first podium a few weeks ago. Probably the best season, Hunter Bauer is just getting, coming to his own. Is his second season in American flat track and feeling a little bit more comfortable on these American tracks.
Yep. Yeah, no cushion.
We have one cushion, that's Lima, but he grew up and raced well in the lot, which is a hard pack track, but all the rest of the tracks up in Canada seem to be the big fast cushion racetracks. So, but he's getting used to the American tracks and dressing very nice on the 24 bike. He's up here right now, 8th in this second round of qualifying. Goes in a little bit deeper. So when you raced here, did you wear motocross gear or did you wear your leathers?
Leathers.
Yep, absolutely. I think with that long, fast front straightaway, when you go off in the first turn, you want to be wearing some leathers if you fall down, right?
Right.
I mean, you want to look cool, you wear motocross gear. That's what they used to do. Now you have to run the leathers with the airbag suit. That is mandatory. We were talking about that when Zabala went down. I think the best thing that they've done for flat track is the air fence. Second's got to be the airbag suit.
Yes. I wish I had both of those when I raced. Yeah. I busted a few hay bales in my day. And fences.
And helmets, probably.
Helmets. Yeah. I had a nice KRW sponsorship, so I
throw those away.
New one every race.
Yeah. That's going way back, Tommy. KRW, huh?
Yeah. Wow.
Bruce Evans holding off the 24 of Hunter Bauer. This final round of qualifying, it's group number 2. Here they come to the checker flag. Bauer goes up the inside, makes the pass to the white flag. I thought that was a checker flag. It's only the white. Downshift at least once going into the first corner. A little bit sideways. It's a little bit dry right there. If you get off the bottom line, it seems like back you kind of trying to step out a little bit. Taking a look back, there's the 49 Chad Coase. Right behind him is the 377 Ferran Cardus. Back out front. Ferran Cardus all the way up to the 5th spot. 27.456 as the checkered flag comes out for the 24 of Hunter Bauer. The 26 right there. Aiden Rusevens. There's the 80 Brandon Kitchen. He's the one that went through the creek. His bike ended up in the creek last year. Yeah, wild ride. The checkered flag is out. This is group number 2. Maxwell still overall fastest on the speed charts, but the fastest in this second round is the 18 also Maxwell. We'll see if that still stands. I believe that might be somebody else. As Cody Kopp, I believe, still fastest in this second round. One more group to go of singles. It's still Cody Kopp here in round 2, 26.784. Mishler, Maxwell, Ferran jumped up to 5th. He's in group number 2. One more group to go. What you pointing out there?
Just KTM, and Honda, Yamaha. So we've got some nice diversity. Husqvarna.
Yep. That's all. The singles class is all about all the different brands of bikes. Here comes the final group. Final round of qualifying for your singles. 94 is Ryan Wells. 119 Logan McGrain. 91 Justin Jones. 56 Jordan Jean. 132 is Pierce. I'm not familiar with this rider. The 14 Jacob Lehman. The 53 is Blake Steinwagner from Marissa, Illinois.
I think we might have more Illinois boys than PA boys here today.
So it kind of seems like it. Those PA boys, there's not very many TTs over there, right?
No, all stock car tracks. Ryan Wells looked good in his first practice session out there in a second.
My producer in the truck said he counts his two because he's so big.
Is that right?
Yeah, he's from PA.
Okay.
Yeah. His nickname is Tree.
Well,
you gotta be a big guy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. 94 Wells. First impression race team Honda. They got the blue wheels. They're always easy to spot out there on the racetrack. Right behind him, his teammate 91 Justin Jones getting some traction, pulling that front wheel. There's Jacob Lehman, the 14 bike. He won here before. There's that Pierce rider, number 132. Moving up to 17th, there's the kid, Logan McGrain, 119. He's a PA rider. Like Wells kind of dabbled his foot right there landing off that jump. That doesn't sound like a very good idea.
Brandon moved up, Kitchen up to 8th place.
Okay. Kitchen on the 80 bike was the session before this one. Chad Coase up there in 9th. Ott is 10th. Gautier is down to 11th right now. So Gautier struggling a little bit out here today, but still working with them. Wells moves up to 5th on this 94 Honda. 27.366 slides Ferran Cardus back. Again, this is only the second round. This is not the combined times. We'll take your fastest lap from the first round or the second round. Wells was all over the motorcycle right there, Tommy. These 450s are pretty solid bikes, aren't they?
They're like little twins. I mean, they just get it. Some tracks they're fast, just as fast as the twins.
Yep. Logan McGrain pushing his motorcycle back. I don't see any dirt on the motorcycle or on his leathers. Maybe just had a mechanical issue. That's the kid, Logan McGrain from Gap, Pennsylvania. White flag is out. 1 lap to go. This is it for AFT Singles qualifying. And one more group of AFT Mission Super Twins to wrap up all the qualifying action today. Wells airing it out over the big jump. Ryan Wells.
Starting to get a little groove all the way around.
Yeah, a little notch. Checker flag's out for Wells. Made it all the way up to 5th here in this second round of qualifying. There's Lane in the 14 bike.
Do we just count this as like turn 3 and 4 and forget about the kink?
I don't know. I call it the final corner. I don't know. It's technically like turn 5 and 6,
yeah,
right? Because 3, I don't know. Is it? That's a right-hander.
That's 1. So that would be
3, 4, 5. So it's 4 and 5. So 5 turns. I don't know.
This is almost just more like a kink.
Like you said, some of those guys aren't even letting off. Here's the round 2 results for the singles. Cody Kopp, 26.784. Morgan Mishler, 26.932. Maxwell, 26.933. Trevor Bruner, 27.129. Ryan Wells, 27.336. That's your top 5 in this second round of qualifying. The overall fastest time looks like will be Maxwell with a 26.590. This is it for qualifying the final group. This is your only group of Mission Super Twins sponsored by S&S Cycle. Now the mind game's going on. The 95 and the 32 trying to go at the back. Dallas got tired of waiting, so he took off. Out front, the 3 of Briar Bauman. The 1, Jared Meese. 32, Dallas Daniels. 95, last year's winner, J.D. Beach. 44 is Brandon Robinson. 20, Jared Vandekoy. 37, Bronson Bauman. 67, Davis Fisher. 27, Robbie Pearson. 25, Ben Lau. And the 17, the Hammer, Henry Wiles. This is it for qualifying.
That's it.
Opening ceremony is coming up in a few moments. A little bit behind. It's all right. 2:30 for opening ceremony is what we're hearing now. So just 1 hour off. 2:30 for opening ceremonies. Do some track maintenance after this one, I'm sure. We do have the Motor Maids coming up in a little bit. We got a tribute to Dick Mann during opening ceremonies. A lot of his bikes are on display in the infield.
I see a lot of people wearing Dick Mann t-shirts, and I was wondering what was happening.
Tommy, are you old enough to race against him?
No. Yeah, it was a little bit before
that was from the truck. Don't be throwing me under the bus.
Brad, he's always kidding me, man. He's smack talking me all the time.
Dick
and
Mann.
I can't talk back to him.
He actually got a bronze medal at the ISDT in 1975 at the Isle of Man.
I was 15 years old.
Wow. Dallas Daniels at the top spot, 27.188. He had a faster lap in the first round with a 25.974. So the track slowing down just a little bit. It's going to kind of drying out. We've had about 4 classes without any break to prep the track. So we'll do track maintenance after this one to get ready for opening ceremonies and then get into our semifinals. There'll be 2 semifinals for all 3 classes. There'll be 2 challenge races or dash for cashes, however you want to look at it, and then our 3 main events. I don't know if you heard this, but we do have a fan who gave us $268 for the Production Twins.
I did hear that. That was
Charger
awesome.
Award. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Very
to honor
cool.
Ryan Barnes.
Thank you for doing that.
Wasn't me.
No, thanking the person
Just
that gave the cash.
Making sure you knew that. 32, Dallas Daniels, fastest in the first round. He's fastest here in round number 2. Remember, he had a wild get off here too last year.
Twice he fell, right?
He did fall off twice.
The bike, I think, went to the creek.
I think one of them did get down there. Yeah, we know for sure Kitchen's bike went through the creek. He just slid out over the jump, lost the front end because the grass was wet. I think kind of banged his head a little bit, but yeah, he had 2 get-offs here last year.
That front straightaway crash was wicked.
Yeah, that one was wild. You don't want to crash ever on straightaway like you said you did at the Indy Mile. Checkered flag's already out. Final round here, qualifying. Looks like the 32 will have the quick time. He's from Mattoon, Illinois, so he is part of the fast boys from Illinois. It's hard to believe that this is his rookie season and he's performing the way he is.
He's a phenom.
We'll take a look at the replay. Dallas Daniels coming off this final corner right here. Gonna grab a handful all over the motorcycle, twisting the throttle. The front wheel comes up. The back end's trying to come around on him. Keeps that throttle pinned.
That's it. He is on the gas.
So unofficially, it will be Dallas Daniels with your fast time. Remember, he won here his rookie debut in the singles class back in 2019. Can he win here in his first ever attempt in the Super Twins class?
Well, hey, if qualifying's telling the story, he's got a great chance. He's going to sit on pole.
That's right. He will have the first pick of the first semi, so he'll take the inside or the outside. I believe that's how they do it. Dallas Daniels here in round number 2, 27.118. His teammate right behind him, 27.210. That's JD Beach. Breyer is third on the Indian, 27.222. Jared Meese is fourth, 27.428. Brandon Robinson rounds out the top 5, 27.468. That's again from the second round, not the overall times. Overall, it's Dallas Daniels, then Breyer Bauman, then JD Beach, Van de Kooi, Jared Meese. Where is the 17 bike? He is currently 6th, and I didn't see him go out for that last round of qualifying. Is he saving himself, saving the motorcycle? We don't know. Tommy Dillon joining me up in the booth. Ralph Shaheen went to go get some more PMC burgers. We appreciate you bringing the last set of PMC burgers over here.
You're
last
welcome.
time.
I got to keep you guys well fed.
Absolutely. Well, I hope you don't wait 41 more years to come back to Peoria again.
For sure, we'll be back.
Well, we should probably let you go so you can go hang out with your wife. I mean, before she leaves you, who's got the car keys?
I think they're sitting in there, so she.
Oh.
We got the motor on, so.
Oh, okay, all right. So she's not leaving?
No, she ain't leaving.
All right.
No, but she's
just making sure. We better go check in with her.
Thank you for
Tommy,
having me in the booth, man.
Thank you so much for stopping by. All right, we're going to take a real quick break in the action, and it's about a 5-minute break. When we come back, we'll be ready for opening ceremonies. If you're watching for free on Facebook, switch on over to fanschoice.tv. I'm Scotty Dibler. This is the 75th running of the Peoria TT. We'll be right back.
Dunlop is the official tire of Progressive American Flat Track. We make tires in America for racing and street racing, such as our creditworthy Progressive American Flat Track spec racing tire, the DT4, and the DT3, which is now the street-legal K180. Learn more about Dunlop tires at dunlopmotorcycletires.com. Cometic Gasket is the official gasket of Progressive American Flat Track. For decades, Progressive American Flat Track champions have depended on Cometic to seal their engines. Cometic gaskets are the professional standard for racers who demand the very best. For more information, log on to Cometic.com. Cometic Gasket, sealing championships since 1989.
Born from the desire to inspire and create adventure and community, Super 73 is an electric bike brand fusing motorcycle heritage and youth culture. Founded in 2016 and based in Southern California, Super 73 has led the charge in pioneering a new approach to help redefine the electric bicycle industry by emphasizing thoughtful design, responsible manufacturing techniques, and local community engagement. The brand continually strives to grow and expand into a true industry leader. Visit super73.com for more information.
You don't take greatness for granted, and neither should your gear. We are Torch Eyewear, and we design sunglasses for protection, performance, and chasing your passion. For more information, visit our website at torcheyewear.com and click on our free Home Try-On program.
The 2022 season will see new challenges for Royal Enfield. More racing, more racers, and more energy than ever before. For the first time ever, the Moto Anatomy powered by Royal Enfield team will participate in the full calendar, including the miles and build train race grid expanding to 15 riders and 7 races. More action than ever before.